Let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah. Let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say alleged, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Good morning, everybody. Clock on in. Welcome to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, I believe, March 18th. It is errand day for me. I got to go run around and do stuff after this live. How's everybody doing today? I got to do a quick sound check because I was so mad. I don't know what day it was, Friday or Monday. I did the whole live, and sometimes when I enter the studio early and then just come in and jump right on, it did not choose my right microphone. It was like using my computer microphone. So I got to make sure. Okay. I think it sounds good. Let me know what you think about the sound. Today we're going to talk about Uber driver Eric Gower. That's how I'm going to say his name. I don't know why there's so much confusion about his name. I think because there was somebody in the area with like same type of name or something. So tap the mic. It does nothing for me though. I can't hear it. Thank you, Buffalo Check. Hi, Ro. Hi, Skull. You were playing some intro music for me. That's awesome. Who else do I see in here? Blue Devil. Hello. Witchy Was. Hey there. Beach Babe. Oh, no. You got to go into the office. That stinks. I always like, hey, Meg. Hi, Mike. Hi, Danielle. Becca. Yeah, these companies that are like, "We need you to come in the office because we need to, keep tabs on everybody," and just do your job and keep tabs on everybody when they're working from home. That's my opinion. Do you want me to call your supervisor, beach babe? Hello, I would like to talk to the supervisor for beach babe. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I need to be an advocate. I gotta still look into that. Oh my goodness. And who else did I see? Love and Other Habits. Hello. You're asking me, have you seen the video that shows the Grub Truck video showing a building in the background that is clearly photoshopped? Well, that's interesting because I do have that video. I have the video. It's the bagel shop, the one across the street that shows Eric pulling up to pick up the girls. So that's one of the things I wanted to look at. And then I have both interviews. Let me see. Hold on one second. I'm getting messages. Oh, okay. It's like my honey to-do list. I'm getting my honey to-do list, but I don't complain because I'm home and retired and taking on those responsibilities. Hi, Karmic Retribution. I am going to make it over to your channel. And because you were saying yesterday you have a video or we're making a video about the house. Because if you guys were here yesterday, we got lost in the house. So I want to check out that video you said if you have one and make sure I have that great understanding. Oh, probably. Okay. Well, we'll look, Love and Other Habits, and we'll see if it shows it in there. I did notice some other photoshopped things in the video I have that we'll be looking at. Who else did I see? Retirement is the greatest. Becca, are you retired? What industry did you retire from, if you don't mind sharing? A month. Wow. I want to I used to do a video a week where like I made the video and I told the story and I put, a video to it and it took so much time. Those videos take a lot of time. For sure. And I love doing that and I want to do that. I got to figure out a way. Carlos always tells me like, batch it, like do a bunch without releasing them so that I'm ahead. And then, so I need to do that, but I don't operate that way. I'm like a, I'm like a speedboat and a last minute queen. Like I want to do everything fast and at the last minute. Like that's how I operate the best, I think. But sometimes you got to change. Skull's mentally retired. I love that. I love that. So are about 90% of our public school teachers out there. If you know, you know. 14 years ago. Wow. I just retired officially in September. So haven't gotten that year mark yet, but I think it's taken me all this time to just decompress from the stress of it all. I know, Skull. Editing is a chore. Yeah, lives are different. Doing a live show is definitely different. And I used to I would incorporate my video into my live. So I would show the video and then, talk. So I'm trying to figure out a way to merge all of that. So yeah. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing any. Oh, that's awesome, Becca. Yeah, I just turned 56. So, my plan, when I started teaching, our state rule was 30 years and you could get your full retirement. And then along my career, they changed the rules and they never grandfathered anybody in. Like they should have grandfathered us in. And there were a lot of new teachers at the time I became a teacher. I had to wait it took me like 4 years to get in. It was very competitive back then. And then they made it I don't know, how many years did they want you to work? They wanted you to work 34 years. And I don't know, so many people complained, they backed down and then they changed it, but I still ended up doing 32 years. So, yeah. Skull. The cool moms. We're the cool moms. Ah, thanks, Karmic. I appreciate that. Pretty much Finland. Hello, welcome on in. Okay. So I put a poll about Eric, the Uber driver. So the reason why I hurried up and switched to talking about him today, if you were over on Truth and Transparency last night, she had the interview with Jack D's roommate. I forget his name. And I think we were laughing about the initials being BJ. Let me know in the chat what exactly his name was. I'm gonna pull that up later. And we're not gonna listen to it because I couldn't listen. I couldn't hear hardly anything. And it wasn't Lana's fault. It's just the way the video came. And she wanted to hurry up and put it out. I love that. It just was it's like they record these things in an echo chamber or they release it with a filter of an echo chamber because it was really hard to hear. So, but you can do the transcript. I'm going to pull up the transcript and we're going to read over that after we look at Eric's first two interviews. And the reason these things are connected is because Braden, that's what it was. Thank you. Braden Jensen. Yes. Braden Jensen lived with Jack Decor, and he was interviewed about knowing the roommates in the 1122 house, knowing about the relationship with Jack D and Kaylee, and about the events of that night. Because, again, I'm not sure if I heard this, so we'll go over it again today, but I thought I heard him say his girlfriend was she the third person with Kaylee and Maddie when they went out? Let me know in the chat. I thought I heard him say that, but again, it was hard to hear, so I'm not sure. So he said a lot of information, I guess, about Eric Gower, things about his car, habits, picking people up, things like that. So I know, Jesse, I saw you in there. It's connected. So I thought, let's listen to what Eric says first, and then let's compare it to what Braden Jensen says about him and what the differences are. Okay, so that's where we're going today. Kristen Zoe Wonderberg. That is his girlfriend. You thought it was Adam. See, we're going to get lost in Uberland today. Yesterday it was lost in the house. Today it's going to be lost in Uberland. That's okay. We're working it out together. We're working it out together on these live shows. Okay. All right. Welcome on in, everybody. And let's check that like button. How are the likes going over here? I got to look on this other. Let's see. 40 people watching and 14 likes. Please hit the like button. I appreciate that very, very, very much. And we'll get into this. So the first interview is from Christie's Chaos. And this was Eric's first interview. I'm glad that she put like in bright flashing text on her thumbnail that there were 2 different interviews by him, because I didn't know that. So that was awesome. We got both of them. This is from November 14th.
So, you know what? Like, just need to try and figure out.
Okay, I'm going to put closed captioning on and put headphones in if you have them. I'm going to listen without my headphones and see if I need them. And we'll stop it along the way. So ask questions if you want. Oh, and I was talking about my poll. Let's see. So far, with 24 votes, 88% of you think Eric is involved. I'll let that go for a few more minutes.
You can tell us any information that you have. Okay. Okay. So, do you know a Maddie or Kaylee?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know that?
So I drive for Uber and Lyft. I drive for Uber and Lyft, and so I met them through that, and they kind of became some of my regulars. So I drive them pretty frequently. They texted me last night at Saturday at 10:02 p.m. Kaylee texted me and asked if I could pick her and some friends up from their house at 11:22 and take them to the club. I got there at 10:15, picked them up, took them to the club. I think there was 3 of them. Can't remember that for sure, but there was at least a couple in the back, I think, and Kaylee was up front.
Okay.
And then at 1:45 a.m., Kaylee texted me, said, "Hey, can you come pick me up and some friends from the Grub Truck?" I got there at 1:49, and then they got in the car shortly thereafter, and I took them home. It's only 3-4 minute drive. Dropped them off, and then headed out to another ride.
Okay. And who did you pick up? What time did you pick them up at?
I got to the Grub Truck at 1:49 a.m., and then their sister, I think it was, texted me last night, and kind of talking with her, went and found because Grub Truck live streams their stuff, went and found them on that, because I couldn't remember for sure who the other person was, and so found them on that, and then they got in the car, and then we drove straight to their house, and I dropped them off.
All right, so...
Okay, so... take notes if you want, because there's a lot of timestamps in here, and it would be interesting if we could see Kaylee's phone data, because there should be a text on her phone at 10:02 p.m. Saturday to Eric asking him to pick her and Maddie and a friend up to go, he just said, to the club. And I think one of the discrepancies is going to be that night if the girls actually went to that John's Alley bar or not. We'll be on the lookout for that. So listen to anything about John's Alley. He said he got to their house at 10:15 p.m. to take them to the club. And he took them and dropped them off. I didn't hear him say a drop-off time. He just said a pickup time. Then he said at 1:45 a.m., Kaylee texted him to pick up from the Grub Truck. And it's interesting. He said pick up friends from the Grub Truck. He said he got there at 1:49. And then he said Olivia, Kaylee's sister, texted him because she saw the Grub Truck video and asked him. Now that's interesting because you can't see Eric on the Grub Truck video. You can only see Kaylee and Maddie leave. So he made it seem like Olivia found out about him through the Grub Truck video. She would have had to find out about him from Kaylee's text messages. I don't think she would have had the bagel shop video at that time, probably from Kaylee's text messages. So, and remember, I believe somebody from that family said that he was a close family friend. Like Kaylee used a driver that was a family friend. We need to listen for that as we listen to this interview. Does he say? I don't think he says anything about that. Yes, this is from Christy's Chaos. If someone can drop the link to her channel, you guys. She drops all these interviews and body cams for us, and they don't have nearly enough likes on them. So please click that link and go over and hit that like button on her videos, because we all use them and she's gracious about that. But she deserves all the credit, and please subscribe to her channel if you have not. Absolutely, Christy. I love the videos you have. Yeah, Christy, go ahead. You can do that. You can do the direct video. You can do your channel. Do we have Kaylee's phone text yet? No, I don't believe so. I do not believe so. The only phone records we've seen are Dylan's. Just Dylan.
Let's go back through here just a little bit. So you drive for Uber and Lyft.
Mhm.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that since 2019. October of 2019, I think.
How long has Kaylee been a regular for you?
I think they started last year. I think they lived there last year. There's a lot of people that come through that house. My friends there's an old alumni and stuff.
So for about the last year then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were obviously working Saturday night, or were you just at home?
Yep.
That's kind of interesting. So Kaylee just started using him as a driver last year. I guess when you're an underclassman, I don't know. I went to the bars as an underclassman. You just got stamped underage. I don't know. They've changed it since then. Like they won't even let you in if you're not 21, maybe some places. So they have said a lot in Idaho that if you're underclassmen and underage, you just go to house parties instead of to the club. So maybe that's why. So that might not be that big of a thing.
Okay, so you're out. You have an app that they contact you through, or is she texting you directly?
She is texting me directly.
Okay. So Kaylee has your cell phone number?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so they contacted you directly.
Mm-hmm.
You picked them up at the house first?
Yep. Picked him up at the house, 11:22 there at
Okay.
whatever time, 10:02 I think is when she first texted me. I think I got there at 10:15.
Okay. And you said you took Kaylee and 3 other girls?
I think there was 3 total. I think there was
3 total, so Kaylee and 2 others?
Yeah, I think. Like I said, there's quite a few that come through that house, so I hadn't gotten names and faces down entirely. It's always
Okay.
dark when I'm driving people, so
That's fine.
I can't remember who all it was.
Then you got another text from her about 1:45.
Yep.
Asking to pick them up with a Grub Truck.
Yep.
You arrived there at 1:49.
Yep.
Okay. And when you picked them up, where did you park?
I parked in front of the Grub Truck, and so then they came
So-
from the back of the car.
Now, what do you mean by in front of the Grub Truck? In front of it.
So where it parks there outside the garden,
Okay.
it has space in front of it, and there was a car already behind it.
Okay.
So when I pulled up, I just kind of pulled in between the front of the Grub Truck and that curb. But like,
Okay, so we can look at that because I have that clip too. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, I think that's typical. Hi, Susan. Glad you're here. Good to see you. Her outgoing message to Eric was sent to him and herself at the same time. When Eric Grower replies, the text bubble is blue and shows he texted Dylan. on her phone. Oh, because so we can see Eric and Dylan communicating. Okay. Her outgoing message to Eric was sent to him and herself at the same time. That's weird. When Eric Gower replies, the text bubble is blue and shows he texted Dylan on her phone and iCloud. Oh. I don't know. That's interesting. I have to look at that. Yeah, there's apparently another company that is suing Idaho also that help me out, Tomboy. Is it EWU? Media LLC is suing Moscow PD for not releasing records. So that's great. Okay, let's okay, I'm going to let this keep playing. I don't want to jump back and forth, but one of the things I'm going to pull up is the footage of him parking when this is over.
Where the Friendship Square like crosswalk is.
Okay, so you're facing.
I'm facing south.
Okay, so you're facing in the south direction. Okay, so you just pull up.
Mhm.
How long did it take them to get to you?
2-3 minutes maybe. I pulled up and I texted her that where I parked, and she said, "Perfect, be in a sec." They are at 75 and we were 78 order numbers.
Okay.
And within a couple minutes, they got in. Kaylee sat up front and Maddie sat in the back.
Okay. Did they say anything to you when they got in the car?
We talked like usual. Maddie was in the back and was eating her Grub Truck with her hands, and Kaylee was up front and just kind of was like, "Hey, I hear you back there eating that with your dirty little hands. Like, don't eat all of that. We're gonna split it." She's like, "I'm not."
Okay.
And then, just kind of talked, asking how the night went and everything. Everything stays fine.
What did they say about that?
I don't remember specifically. I was working since like 10 a.m. I'd been out till 3 the night before, I think it was. So I had a bunch of people, but it's just kind of usual. Like, I don't remember him saying anything like, "Oh, look, tonight sucked," or whatever. I had a lot of people that said, "Oh, tonight was like so," but nothing like that stood out as far as weird or awkward or anything like that. As far as I remember everything was fine.
They didn't talk about anybody else they had been talking.
Okay. Hi, Rolo. Hello. Good. I know you have lots of information about everything. I appreciate that. So Eric used to live on 3rd or 4th Street. You and Bubbly showed it before. Okay. He drove a white Dodge truck parked on the side of his house garage, a Prius, and his wife drove a dark silver SUV. That's going to be helpful because I'm not a car person. So when I do show him pulling up at the Grub Truck, I wanted to look at that car and identify it. So let me know what you already think that one is, because it's very dark. I thought he was supposed to be driving a silver car that night. I don't think it's silver at all. There's now, since we've heard that Braden interview, he said that Eric uses all different kinds of cars. So is he just switching between those 3? Well, I don't know if you would take a truck for an Uber to give Uber lifts. So that would leave 2 if he has a Prius and an SUV. If the one at the Grub Truck is the dark SUV, it's a very small one. Very small one. I would not call the car at the Grub Truck a sedan, but I don't know. It looks like it's kind of got like I don't know if it's a hatch, but one of those trunks where you could fold the seats down in the back. Let's see. It was not a silver car. Yeah. A dark pewter, maybe. It's hard with the lighting too. He's seen throughout the whole night everywhere driving people. Is he? Yeah, but there's nothing showing he's involved. I know. He also says that text from Dylan was Friday, not Sunday. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to listen carefully. The thing that is, I think, peculiar about him, Lana did that video about, I don't know if it was the Moy's house or if it was another house on, is it Ridge Road that's behind? It's either on Walenta or back on Ridge Road, one of those other roads, where an Uber, they were interviewing the person, and he said, he was saying he took an Uber home, but then he said it was a cop, or a cop gave him a ride home from the bars. Like, and we know that's not going to happen. I mean, it shouldn't happen. A cop's not going to give you a ride home from the bars. So then that leads to the speculation. Was it an Uber driver? Was it Eric? Was it, then is he, an undercover? Is he a CI? Like, that's where all those conversations came from. So yeah, we're listening to this to just point out, listen to what exactly he says. And then that Braden interview, I think, is going to contradict some of it. We'll see.
Talking to you during the night, didn't give you anything to make you feel that there was anything that had happened during the night? Okay. Do you still have all their texts?
Yeah.
Can you screenshot those?
Exactly.
Send those to me from the first text with her to the last one.
First ever? Or just
from Saturday. So starting on Saturday, when was your first text with her?
Let's see here. Saturday, 8:40. She asked if I was driving.
Okay, start with that one.
Okay.
So start there. And then to whenever you're live.
Okay, wait a minute. Who are they talking about? I was reading your texts. There's Christy. There's so many people, phone records we need to see that could clear up a lot of this. Why can't I get this off? There we go. Okay. Yeah, if we could see Eric's phone records, that could help, clear some things out. Can't clear some things up.
Okay, start with that one.
Okay.
So start there.
Who is Saturday at 8:40? Eric is super important, because in any crime, the first suspects would be last person to see them alive. And he's the last person outside of the house that saw them alive. So he should be a person of interest right away.
First ever? Or just
from Saturday. So starting text with her to the last one.
First ever? Or just
from Saturday. So starting on Saturday, when was your first text with her?
Let's see here. Saturday, 8:40. She asked if I was driving.
Okay, start with that one.
Okay.
So start there. And then to whenever your last text with her was.
Okay. Yeah, I texted her after I got the vandal alert asking if they were all okay.
Okay.
And then what's your phone number? Yep.
What's your middle initial?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And your date of birth? I'm just going to ask for what's your address.
Okay, wait a minute. What just happened there? Because something is wrong there, right, Christy? So he's like, and I missed who he's asking about. Yeah, Skull, 8:40. Let me back that up a minute, because then it's cut off. So the cop is saying, tell me when you communicated with her through text, what time was your very first text message? And he says 8:40. But I didn't hear, I don't know if he's talking about Kaylee, Dylan. I don't know who he's talking about. I think Kaylee. So I'm going to back that up. Then it completely gets interrupted. And now they're talking about his date of birth and address. Can you say edited? Edited? That's crazy. Let me hear the name.
or whatever. I had a lot of people that said, "Oh, tonight was like so," but nothing like that stood out as far as weird or awkward or anything like that. As far as I remember everything was fine.
They didn't talk about anybody else they had been talking to during the night. Didn't give you anything to make you feel that there was anything that had happened during the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you still have all their texts?
Yeah.
Can you screenshot those and send those to me from the first text with her to the last one?
First ever, or just
from Saturday. So starting on Saturday, when was your first text with her?
Let's see here. Saturday, 8:40. She asked if I was driving.
Okay, start with that one.
Okay,
so start there, and then.
Okay. So he doesn't pick them up to take them out until 10:15 p.m. Saturday, as far as we know. But she's texting him at 8:40, "Are you driving?" Dylan texted him at 2:10 or something like that a.m. that night, "Are you driving?" Is "Are you driving" a code? Like, I'm not kidding you guys. I know people that, like, if they wanted to smoke a little pot or something, they would say, "Do you want to go bowling? Do you want to go bowling?" Like, people have codes. I showed that fraternity and sorority video a couple episodes ago, and they would use library at 9:00. Like, that was a code for meeting up. Like, you use codes related to what you're doing. He's an Uber driver, so they're going to use a code for what he's doing. I'm just saying. Or it could be nothing, and she just wants to know if he's driving.
To whenever your last text with her was.
Okay. Yeah, I texted her after I got the vandal alert asking if they were all okay.
Okay.
And then what's your phone number? Yep.
What's your middle initial?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And your date of birth? I'm just going to ask for both your address. Okay. And your phone number again? Your license in Idaho?
Yeah. You have. Oh, okay.
That's legal. It's out of Idaho.
Okay.
Okay. And you send those to me?
Yep. Oh, yeah, it shows that they sent at least.
I haven't gotten them yet.
Oh. Let's see here. I should probably try and screenshot it with the times too.
And you send them?
We'll try
It
and
may come through in a minute or two.
hold these over here so that we have all the times too.
Okay. I'm going to send those to that same number for me.
Sounds good.
Just going back to my notes.
Hold on. I got to back this up.
I haven't gotten them yet.
You have. Okay.
That's legal. It's out of Idaho.
Okay. Yep.
And then to whoever,
Sorry.
from the first text with her to the last one.
First ever, or just
from Saturday. So starting on Saturday, when was your first text with her?
Let's see here. Saturday, 8:40. She asked if I was driving.
Okay, start with that one.
Okay.
So start there. And then to whenever your last text with her was.
Okay. Yeah, I texted her after I got the vandal alert asking if they were all okay.
Okay.
And then what's your phone number? Yep.
What's your middle initial?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And your date of birth? I'm just going to ask for both your address. Okay. And your phone number again? And your license in Idaho?
Yeah. You have. Okay.
That's legal. It's out of Idaho.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And you send those to me?
Yep. It shows what they sent at least.
I have not gotten them yet.
Oh. Let's see here. I should probably try and screenshot them with the times too.
And you said
Why is this redacted? Sorry.
We'll try it.
it may come through in a minute or two.
Hold these over here so we have all the times too.
Okay. Turn to send those to that same number for me.
Sounds good.
Okay, this conversation they're having right here is weird. So he's asking him to text or email or screenshots of text messages to a cop. Okay. He's at least a person of interest because the next video, part 2 of him, is an interview to rule him out as a suspect. So they should be taking his phone, at least downloading the information off the phone, not relying on him to, pick and choose which messages he wants to screenshot and turn over, right? Okay. So then they're talking, and I don't know if I was reading the closed caption. The cop says they haven't got them yet. They haven't got them yet. It's just weird who they're talking about. They're sending these messages to. And then Eric says, keep those over there. Like, I don't know. If you're looking at this through the lens of, is he connected? Is Eric connected in some way to law enforcement? Listen to this part of the conversation and see if there's anything in there that makes you think that. Is all I'm saying. Hey, Dago, I see you. I hope you're having a great day. How are you? Yeah, that redaction was ridiculous. Who else just jumped in? Senor Wazowski, hello.
My notes real fast.
Yeah,
But based off of your interactions with him, nothing, he didn't have any feeling of anything out of the ordinary?
No, Maddie seemed drunker than Kaylee. You could tell they'd been out at the bars, but everything seemed fine. Behavior seemed typical. Like, I kind of usually notice when someone gets in, I'm like, hey, how's the night been? Oh, shitty, or, whatever.
Yeah.
That's an unusual response.
How intoxicated compared to normal interactions with him were they?
I'd say Kaylee was pretty normal. Maddie was definitely, she was a little tipsy, kind of struggling to stand and walk a little bit. And you can see that on the Grub Truck thing too.
Yeah.
And then as I was backing out of their driveway, because it's kind of tight there, but I typically kind of drag my feet a little bit as I'm backing out and make sure they make it up and everything okay. And yeah, they made it inside safe and sound and everything, nothing.
Did you see anything weird in the area before you left?
And there was I'm trying to remember if that was last night or not. There was right as you come up you're heading to the Queens and you go turn right into their driveway. There's a car parked there and there's kind of a pile of stuff on the road. And one thing was a shoe. And I didn't pull in. I think that might have been Friday night.
Okay.
And cause I won't pull in. I don't want to run over whoever's shoe. But I think I was pulled in the driveway and backing out when they were walking up.
Okay.
So I don't think that was the same night.
Anything, so you picked.
Okay, so then the police officer should get, probably all his interactions with them from days before up until that night, right? So if you're confused, get the records, right? If he was not on the clock with Uber and you can't get those records, take his phone, download his phone, keep the phone until the investigation's over, and find out for sure that he picked them up Friday. What time Friday? Find out all that information. I think a couple people have talked about that pile in the road or things being in the road, underwear in the road. Now there's a shoe in the road. There's a pile of stuff in the road. Friday night. I don't think we see images of that in any of the body cam Sunday. So who knew about that? Who else saw that? I don't hear a lot about that in interviews. Could it have been important? Well, yeah. Did it have anything to do with the murder victims? That would be them doing their job. Hi, Lisa. I know we just have these high expectations, don't we? Like, how dare we expect them to do some normal police work? Oh my goodness. Molly said no, she didn't see any of that stuff. Okay. So I'm just going to jot that down. So he said there was stuff in the road, possibly Friday. And but we think Molly said she didn't see that. But Molly probably would have been talking about Saturday. It wouldn't be the Idaho case if there wasn't confusion. I know that's the other connection, and why people are talking about Eric possibly being connected to law enforcement or a CI work or stuff like that. His wife does work for MPD, I believe. He played the Santa Claus for MPD. Also, Skull, when I did my confidential informant episode, I saw your comment that not only is it college kids that get in trouble getting turned into CIs, but there are also paid CIs. Who would you pay? That's an interesting question. Who would you pay to be a confidential informant? Someone you trust, someone you know, someone married to somebody already working in law enforcement. I mean, I don't know. This is just all speculation.
Up on Friday, too. I think so. Go back through here. Saturday. So she did text me Friday at 8:15, just asking if I was driving. I said I was, but then I never heard from him. So maybe that's a different night or different roommates or something. I can't.
Do you regularly pick people up?
Okay, wait a minute. He just said she did text me Friday. Now it's Friday at 8:15. So we've got Friday at 8:15, Saturday at 8:40 saying, "Are you driving? Are you driving?" But then he says, "Well, I don't know if it was her. It could have been another roommate." What? You do know? Oh my goodness. Let's look at this.
Maybe that's a different night or
maybe that's a different night or
different roommates or
something. Doesn't your text messages tell you the date and time? Doesn't your text message tell you the date and time? Let me look. I'm going to look at my text messages right now. Oh my goodness. Here is a text message from Carlos, and it says, let me get past all the TikToks. So it says a day and time that he texted me, but then my text message back is only in a blue bubble like Skull was talking about. Let me see. How do I find mine out? Oh, I have an iPhone, and if you push the message left, you can see the time. You can see the time you responded. So it's all right there. So what he's saying right now doesn't make sense.
Do Do you regularly pick people up from the house?
Yeah, that house, and like kind of at the top of King Street there on the left. Those are my two popular ones over there.
Who else have you driven from that house? Can you remember their names?
I was trying to remember when I was trying to text people, see if everyone was okay. I think there's another, like a that lives there maybe, or I've driven from there. I'm trying to remember where she goes. I only see her every once in a while. But I think it might be in one of those other houses that's just.
He's saying names and we're not allowed to hear the names. They're redacting the names.
Towards King Street, like one of those two that's kind of like the steep driveway.
Okay.
But they have quite a few alumni that come through that I've driven in the past. Like there's one, her name's as well. She lives down in Boise now. And like, it's always kind of a hodgepodge of people from that house versus like, there's always the same like 2 or 3 girls. So,
okay. All right. Did you pick any?
So he's saying at the 1122 house, it's always a hodgepodge of people. Quote from Eric Gower, hodgepodge of people. So not the same residents, like, the residents and then a bunch of friends, the residents and some friends. It's just a hodgepodge of people. That's going to be our word for today. Hodgepodge. It's crazy.
Anyone else up there? You drop them off in that area after Kaylee and Maddie?
I don't think so. I had rides out of that area, and like I think I had some rides taking people back to there. I think that was before them, and there were girls. And then I picked up a couple from the house that's right there on the intersection of King Road, that kind of house there. And I took some people from there to campus, like Greek Row, I think. And then I had a request from there for that was and everything, but then they canceled, and then Kaylee texted me from Grub Truck. So I don't know if it's for sure the same person.
What time do you think you dropped them off at their place?
Okay, wait a minute. I'm writing all this stuff down. I want to get this.
Their area, and like I took.
Okay. So he's saying, did you have any other rides? Okay.
Did you pick anyone else up there? You drop them off in that area after Kaylee and Maddie?
Oh, but he's taking a deep breath right there. The question was, did you pick anybody else up in that area after Kaylee and Maddie? That was the question. And then he goes, like he's taking a deep breath. I'm taking notes, you guys. Sorry.
I don't think so.
Okay. First answer, I don't think so. But then he thinks, and then he comes up with some.
I had rides out of that area.
Okay. I don't think so. I had rides out of that area. Okay. So I'm coming to pick people up and I'm taking them out. I had rides out of that area. Here we go.
And like I think I had some rides taking people back to there.
Okay. I had some rides taking people back to there. Where's there? Back to King Road, Queen Road? They need his records and to see all this stuff exactly. And I would like to see that. We need to see that. I had rides taking people back to there. Sorry, you guys. I'll come back to chat in a second. Let me get through this part.
I think that was before them, and there were girls.
Okay, that was before them.
and then I picked up a couple from the house that's right there on the intersection of King Road, that kind of house there. And I took some people from there to Canvas, like Greek Row, I think. And then I had a request from there for that was and everything, but then they canceled, and then Kaylee texted me from Grub Truck. So from there for
Okay, this cop is not like, he's using a lot of like pronouns. There, here, you know, where's there? Where is there? What are you talking about? I had a request from there. Where's there? The 1122 house?
that was and everything.
Carlos and I always joke because I'll use pronouns without establishing the noun. Like, you got to tell people who or what you're talking about before you use a pronoun. Like, what are you talking about? I had a request for there. From there.
Thing, but then they canceled, and then Kaylee texted me from Grub Truck. So
Okay. He had a request from somewhere that canceled before Kaylee texted from Grub Truck. Drug truck. All right, getting a timeline of all this.
I don't know if it's for sure the same person.
What time do you think you dropped them off at their place?
He said, I'm not sure if it was the same person. So he must be talking about a house, one of the houses. So is it this intersection? Is it this intersection house that he's talking about? And let me know in the chat if you know what house he's talking about. Not sure if same person. Okay.
Probably like one. Oh, hang on. Let's see here.
You keep track of that?
Not really, but I had a ride right after. I was going to go pick up a guy at the alley, and I texted him that I was headed his way at 2:13. I had Maddie spilled some Grub Truck on the back seat, so when I pulled out of King Street, I just pulled right next to those apartments and cleaned off the seat real quick before I headed that way.
Okay.
I'm thinking I probably texted him about the time
Is this where he said, where?
when I pulled out of King Street, I just pulled right next to those apartments and cleaned off the seat real quick before I headed that way.
Okay.
I'm thinking I probably texted him about the time I was either pulling out or was on Taylor there.
So not right after you dropped
Not like
Kaylee and Maddie off.
Yeah, not like immediate, but I probably dropped him off around 1:55, 2, somewhere in there.
You said 2:13 is when you texted the other ones?
Yeah, I texted him at 2:13 that I was headed his way either in a minute, but I don't remember 100% where I was, but.
That might be the guy that says a cop took me home. That might be the guy that says a cop took me home. Hi, Mark B, the White's Apartments with LE undercover. Lots of people joining in. Saber, Sleuth, Tiger. I love that name. Hello, hello. User MB. Hello. That moment you realize you're listening to Court TV. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting sounds we can hear. Yeah. All right. Hi, Tony Stevenson. All right. This is almost over.
Okay. So you're guessing what time that you dropped him off?
2-ish.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you think would be pertinent information that we need to know?
I don't think so. I've been kind of trying to like think over things, and then the sister that texted me, like, she had kind of asked, like, hey, do you remember what time you dropped him off, and that sort of thing. I don't think so.
Okay. One last thing, and I've been asking everyone I talked to during this. Let me flip them over for me. Pull your sleeves up for me. Over. Okay. All right. Like I said, we're just doing everything out we can.
Feel free. I'm happy to do whatever.
Doesn't appear those have come through yet. What kind of signal strength do you have right now?
2 bars.
He's supposed to be sending him these text messages and he hasn't gotten them yet. And they're like, oh, anything else you need? Yeah, your phone, dude. Give over your phone. We need to take your phone right now.
Yeah, I'm still not getting it through.
Okay.
I'll see if after it says it's sent.
Yeah, it usually has a bar across the top if it's still trying to send.
Okay. My phone just may not have picked it up yet, so I'll give it a few minutes. If I don't get it, I'll retext it.
Okay.
I'll text you and then you can resend it to me. Okay.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, I think that's all I need from you then for now.
All right.
So
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
let you go on.
Wouldn't you love if the cops would do that for you if you were ever in trouble? Hey, could you just text me that? Like, hey, just text me that information, in a quadruple homicide investigation. This isn't a traffic stop. Oh, what am I listening to, Lisa? Oh, a super chat. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm like over here taking notes and what did I miss? I'm looking. Oh my goodness. There it is. I can't do it from here, can I? Hold on. I was way over on I was watching the video on another screen. There you go. And I'm taking notes over here like, there we go. Look at that. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you have animals around that don't like fireworks, turn the volume down. 3, 2, 1.
Clock it. So I gotta say thank you. Clock it.
Thanks, Dago. Thank you. Yeah, please. If I miss anything, let me know because that's very generous, very appreciated. Love you guys. How could they never take Eric Gower's? I know. Having phone that seriously should be criminal. Yeah. Crazy. All right. So I just dropped my pen. Let me grab it. All right. Interview one from Eric Gower. He texted Kaylee at 10:02. He got there at 10:15 to take them to the club. At 1:45, Kaylee she texts him to pick them up from Grub Truck. At 1:49, he gets to Grub Truck. He started driving for Uber in 2019. Now, I think that could be important information if we can get anything more with connections to law enforcement work or anything like that. Kaylee started using him the previous year. They don't use the Uber app. They text directly. Kaylee has his cell phone number. If I was his wife, I wouldn't like that. Sorry, just me. Lots of people go through that house. There's a hodgepodge of people that go through that house all the time. He said Kaylee also texted him at 8:40 p.m. on Saturday. Are you driving? Okay. She texted him on Friday. But see, then there was no pickup. At 8:40, she texts, "Are you driving?" But then there's no pickup. There's no driving involved, according to him. Friday at 8:15, Kaylee texts, "Are you driving?" Again, nothing about a ride to anywhere, just "Are you driving?" After dropping the girls off, he says he's asked, "Did you do anything after you dropped Kaylee and Maddie off?" And his first response is, "I don't think so." And then he says, "Well, I had rides out of the area. Oh, and then I had rides taking people back to the area." And then he talks about this intersection house, picking up a guy or a couple. I think it was a couple or a guy at 213 at John's Alley. All right. And also pulling into Queen Road Apartments and cleaning off his seats. I think it was the Queen Road Apartments. All right. So that's all the information from episode. Eric Gower, episode 1. No, the interview of Eric Gower. Hello, Canny Mag. Yeah, I know. Things have been around for a while. Please. Oh, Christy, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. There's quite a few watching. Please hit the like button. I appreciate that. All right. Before we go to interview 2, let's look at the Grub Truck pickup. Right here. Let me see if it's showing you. It is. I'm going to skip to the time stamp. Okay. Let me know in chat if you can see my pink cursor. So before I skip to the time when the girls get picked up. Oh, wait, there they are right there walking in. I still think Maddie's legs look goofy as she's walking. Okay, so we just saw the girls go in. If you look right here by the front tire on the Grub Truck, there's some kind of redaction thing. Right now it looks black, but it keeps going. There's something in the video that's like spontaneously blacking people out. There's another one here and there's another one over here. And they're like these blobs. They're like clear blobs, but when something comes into view, they become solid. And so there's one on the left right here, one in the middle, and one over here. And there's probably others, but those are the ones right now. When Eric pulls in, you will see these turn into, I think it looks like pink, like some pink thing. It's just weird. All right, he comes in at 7 something. Oh, right there. Okay. All right, here he's going to come. Okay, so there he is. Not silver. I guess, would you call that an SUV? It's a small SUV, I guess. So is that his wife's car? So here's what I want you. Do you see this thing right here? That blur just turned like, it's pink. I wish I could make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? Zoom in. Let's zoom in. No. It's the blob has been there the whole time. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. These are transparent right now. You can kind of see through them. This one turned into this like pink, and I don't know. It's weird. Is it supposed to be for license plates? Maybe. I don't know, but What car is that? Is that a Prius? Is that his Prius? Is that an SUV? Is it a car we don't know? What do you guys think? Saluther 75. Hello. Hey, William Tardy. Hi. A 4-door sedan. Reading your comments. William thinks it's a Prius. I'm not a car person, so you guys got to tell me. Holy Toledo. I cannot turn away from chat. Sluther. You're so generous. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank 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 you for the support. Thank you. Thank you.
You're so sweet, Sluther. Thank you. Eric, why are Tony, you're always funny. Look at JLR video from the beginning. He goes to Grub Truck. I don't see no lights hanging. Okay. I did when I was searching this, last night and this morning for different videos. I did see he had one, but I don't know how he feels about people using his stuff. I mean, I know he streams and lets us use his stream, so he's probably okay about it. And yeah, so Mark B. Oh, Mark, I know you know cars. A Prius. Dago says Prius. And it's not silver. And it's not a white Elantra. I almost said Elantra again. Okay. All right. So this video has been playing the whole time I've been talking and reading your chats and seeing Sluther's generous donation, and the girls are still over there. There they come. So Maddie's going straight for the back seat, and then Kaylee's getting in the front seat. What do you guys think about that? I definitely would not do that with an Uber that I didn't know. So clearly she knows and trusts him. A professional Uber. I've taken Ubers with my daughter, my adult daughter, before. We both get in the back seat. Like, I'm small enough, she's small enough to just both be able to fit in the back seats.
On December 23rd, 2025.
Okay. But Kaylee gets in front. So that's pretty telling, because I would think if you weren't, you would just get in the back seat. Carlos will get in the front seat because he's a tall 6'6" dude and he needs leg room. So that's why he does it, right? He doesn't care if you show his stuff. Okay. Reading your comments. Tony. I mean, it is like, look, if you're a married man and you're out giving rides, I mean, I know it's probably, you could make a lot of money on a college campus doing Uber. I get it. Side hustle. You should be respectfully doing it the right way. You should be always using the app, accounting for your time, keeping college girls in your back seat, not your front seat, not having alcohol bottles in your car, none of that shady stuff. That's when you do creepy things, you get a side eye, right? Let's do that. You get the
bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye.
You get the side eye. Right. Okay. So we're gonna look at interview number 2. Wait a minute. Why is this one so long? It can't be that long. All right, I got this one from Connor's channel. My goodness, is it really that long? We'll see. This is the second interview. So now this is 2 days later, right? Wasn't the first one on November 16th? This one is 2 days later, and I know I'm not sharing it yet. There we go. JD was told by Dylan as soon as he walked up on what she had scripted before he sat in the car. Oh, yeah, she went right up to everybody right away. Oh, right, Jesse. Not accepting cash, not charging them at all. Yeah, there's weird stuff going on there with this Uber driver for sure. I think that might be coming up in the second interview about payment because we didn't hear there were no questions about payment in this first interview. It was all about who'd you pick up? What time did you pick them up? It was all about pickups and drop offs. So let's listen to the second one.
We're starting recording here with Mr. At 11:18:22 on 11:18:22 at 5:33 p.m.
I want to know how to operate this or not.
I asked you.
It should be a red button somewhere. Okay.
Right? Right, senor? Don't you be looking at those hot young college girls, right? Especially, she just had a baby or she was pregnant. Like, do you know how self-conscious she probably felt? Like, come on. Yeah. Right, Karmic. No one's doing anything for free. Clock that. Nobody's doing anything for free. Something's coming back your way. I don't know what that something is, but something is, because nothing's getting done for free. Not accepting cash. Oh, yep. Yep.
Okay, Idaho State Police elimination interview statement. Purpose. The purpose of the elimination interview is to remove a subject from being considered a person of interest in a criminal investigation. This is accomplished through several means. Primarily, a person is eliminated due to providing a confirmable alibi. Secondarily, a person is eliminated through their cooperation with investigators. A person of interest. A person of interest is a subject that is considered a person of interest is based on their relationship to a victim and or their proximity in time and space to the occurrence of a crime. The reason for the elimination interview is also important in that it prevents the waste of time and resources by law enforcement. If we are investigating innocent persons, we are wasting time. What we are asking you for. In addition to answering questions in a detailed, truthful, and sometimes lengthy manner, your cooperation with an elimination interview may also include submitting your electronic devices for forensic examination, as well as allowing consent to search of your vehicle and or residence. A DNA sample may also be requested.
Okay, so within 2 days, they're like, you're a person of interest, dude, or a suspect, dude. And now they're having an elimination, like you need to provide us information during this interview today so that we can clear your name off our person of interest list. And if you don't, you're going to stay on it. Those are my words. That's how I'm saying what he just said, summarizing what he just said. So this is an elimination interview, and he said you need to have an alibi, or cough up, other information, right? All right.
These requests may seem intrusive. They are, and we apologize for having to ask for this level of cooperation. However, in serious criminal cases where the identities of the perpetrator or perpetrators may not be known, it is necessary to our success in bringing justice and closure in these cases. Your consent. You must understand that you are not required to consent to participating in this elimination interview. You are here of your own free will and because of your desire to assist law enforcement in solving this crime. You, of course, may choose to terminate your consent and end this process at any time. And
yeah, I'm glad I saw you guys answering this in the chat. Saber Sleuth Tiger. Yeah, the 1112 camera footage is released. Christie's Chaos has it. Connor probably has it. Jules has it. Jules of all trades, like the camera. It's a lot of times it's called the porch camera footage. Yeah, it's all out there from like midnight till noon the next day or whatever time the next day.
leave. You got all that?
Yep.
Okay. Are you willing to cooperate and provide that sort of cooperation with us today?
Yes.
Okay. First things first, I've got somebody across the hall that can download your phone. Are you okay with
Here
that?
we go. Okay. 2 days later. 2 days later. Oh, now we're going to download your phone. Better late than never, I guess. Better late than never. And you really can't, if you try to delete and hide stuff, they're probably going to be able to find it anyways. So, I mean, if this was in the 90s or the early 2000s, might be a different story. But yeah, I don't think he could have gotten rid of anything. So they are down. So his phone is downloaded. That's good to know. I would like to see that. So that's got to be in the documents somewhere. What else did he just say? Downloading his phone. Oh, senor. Couple days to get an alibi. Yeah.
We have another form.
What was that? What was that? The breathing.
Yep. There's a person across the hall, Moscow PD.
Oh, I'm going to back this up because there's some information here. Canny Meg. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Yes. When Kaylee's sister Olivia was like, those girls got home at 1:56. I know the exact time. It implied that she actually saw them like getting dropped off and walking into the house. That's what it sounded like to me too. And I think everybody thought that. Let me know in the chats. Now, since we see the 1112 porch footage and they're saying that's all there is in that area, that's the only footage besides Linda Lane. And you can't see the house from Linda Lane from the camera. What you can see is you can see a car that looks like Eric's at the time that he says he brings them home. You can see that turning onto their road, driving past the porch camera towards their house. And then you can see him driving back away from the house. So you can't see them you can't see him park at 1122. You can't see 1122. No. And we know how hard it is to identify cars on that porch camera footage because the headlights and taillights glare so bad. All right, I got to back this up. So they're asking him to go download his phone across the hall. And he's real worried about who's in that room.
Assist law enforcement in solving this crime. You, of course, may choose to terminate your consent and end this process at any time and leave. You got all that?
Yep.
Okay. Are you willing to cooperate and provide that sort of cooperation with us today?
Yes.
Okay. First things first, I've got somebody across the hall that can download your phone. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
We have another form.
Oh, that was a laugh. That was a weird laugh.
Yep. Is the person across the hall Moscow PD?
No.
State? Okay.
FBI.
FBI.
Oh, okay.
Mobile device. Do you have a password or?
Who's making those noises? Is it the cop or is it him? You heard that too, Dago? He was like, like, to me, that's like a, I don't know. I guess maybe because he's doing tedious paperwork. He said, here's another form you got to fill out. So I guess I get it, but it is funny.
Security code on your device?
Yes.
What is it? Can you spell that for me?
Wait, I'm sorry. I got to get all these questions. Document.
We have another form.
I know you all wanted to hear that breathing again. Just more relax.
Yep. Is the person across the hall Moscow PD?
No.
State? Okay.
FBI.
FBI.
Oh, okay.
Mobile device. Do you have a password or security code on your device?
Yes.
What is it? Can you spell that for me?
Yep.
That is a long password.
Yeah. Well, I just use my face most of the time.
Okay. Okay, if you could print on this line, if you could print and sign your name, and then also your consent can be withdrawn. So if you change your mind that you don't want to do that in 10 minutes, we can go undo it because you have the right to remove consent at any time.
Okay. And then just sign next to it.
Yes, please.
So 11, 18?
18, yep. 5:37 p.m.
Yeah, I just...
You want to sign as a witness?
I will.
Okay. If I could have your phone, I'll give it to them.
Been busy?
Not really. I'm on...
Oh, okay. Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank
So this sounds like a different cop came in the room and said, hey, have you been busy? Not really. And then it's got to be redacted, probably because he was talking about his wife having the baby. So I'll give him that personal information, but whatever.
That's been
A lot of
a
effort?
learning curve for sure.
Oh, I
But
bet.
sleepless nights.
Oh, gosh, that's what they say. Everybody can't, no sleep at all.
Yes.
Your guys' comments are cracking me up.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, next, DNA. Are you willing to give us a sample of your DNA?
Yep.
Okay. Did you label the outside of that glove? Gloves.
Exactly.
These are different ones.
Yeah, you just pop the top off.
Hi, Momo.
The other one's better.
I hate putting the box. That was what killed me. Is that what you said? Okay.
Correct.
Sorry.
No worries.
Been long days.
No, I get it.
And your date of birth?
19. So I'm going to take both of these and hold them like this, side by side.
Okay.
And I'm going to rub the inside of one of your cheeks and
Okay.
then the inside of the other one.
Okay.
It just takes a few seconds.
Good. Enjoyable than a COVID test, that's for sure.
Yeah, oh my gosh. When the nurse stuck that thing in my nose, I grabbed her hand. It hurt.
Okay. And then last but not least, and I know this is kind of intrusive, but it is what it is. We'd like to examine you from the waist up without your shirt on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so he had to turn over his phone for extraction. Then he had to give a DNA test. And now they want to see him waist up without his shirt on. And this is the 18th, November 18th. So 5 days after the murder. They're doing it. They're doing it. Skipping a little bit to see. So this is all redacted. Still redacted.
There, get it.
Okay. Let me go to where. Okay, right here.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Kind of.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Okay. So, so you're at a job as an Uber driver?
Yeah, I do drive for Uber and Lyft on the week.
Wait, what's the other job? I think it was all redacted. So we didn't get to hear about his first job? Because this is redacted. So watch. I'm skipping until we see, because I've got closed captions on right there.
I'll read. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Kind of.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
When the cop says your other job, so Uber is your other job, that to me means I already spoke to you about your first job, and I didn't hear that on there. It's redacted. The cop's laughing about it, like, oh, I was just joking. What do you guys know? Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Meg, hi Meg, what are you telling me? He is a financial aid person for the university. Even back then, that was his job. Like he worked like in the bursar's office or something like that. Either the registrar's office or the bursar's office. He started as a DoorDasher. No. Please don't throw that into this. For federal grants. Okay, that's what you do in a college financial office, right? But we're not hearing that on this interview. We just know it because people find information out. All right.
so you're at a job as an Uber driver?
Yeah, I do drive for Uber and Lyft on the weekends.
Uber
typically.
and Lyft.
Mhm.
They're two separate companies.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit, because it's not, I don't know this stuff. So Uber and Lyft. Tell me about Uber. What do you do? How do you become an Uber driver?
You fill out an application online. You submit like your driver's license, consent to a background check, all of that, and then you send it with you're approved on that front. Then you send them your car registration and proof of insurance, and then you get approved. They send you a sticker, and then you can drive. And same for Lyft. The only difference is with Uber, I had to take the car into a mechanic and get it certified or get it inspected.
For insurance reasons.
So I just had to get it inspected for them, I guess, but I didn't have to do that for Lyft. Lyft just asked me, is your car in good working condition? Yes or no? Yes.
What kind of car?
2011 gray Toyota Prius, license plate.
And so through Uber, that's the vehicle you use for Uber. You can't have another car and use that.
You can if you sign them both up.
Got it.
Okay, we know how these car colors are, right? Car companies come up with like all kinds of crazy color names. So, I mean, he said gray Toyota Prius. Okay, he didn't say silver, he said gray. It's a very, very, it looks to me like a very dark gray. So, right. What was the joke? Didn't the cops write something else? They didn't call it a Toyota Prius. Didn't they call it a Ford Prius or something? You guys know what I'm talking about? It's a very dark. It's very, yeah, and they'll give them certain tints, right? They'll give them like a blue tint or a blackish tint. He called it gray. I know. Ford, it's a Ford Prius, you guys. Sorry, I don't want to confuse anybody. It's a Toyota Prius.
Yeah, they both have to go through registration in your name, proof of insurance in your name, and the inspection on Uber's side or whatever. I used to do it in my pickup as well. It's lapsed. You have to be within 15 years of the current date. So my pickup is 2006, so it lapsed a while ago, and it's also diesel, so not super fuel efficient. So yeah, I've been driving. I started driving the Prius in I bought it in 2019, October of 2019, and I was Ubering and I think lifting. Both started in 2019, and then I think I switched to pretty much only the Prius in January of 2020.
And so how do you advertise? Do they advertise for you? You advertise.
They don't do anything.
You just pay them to have the name.
Yeah, basically access to the platform.
I saw one earlier say, do these cops not know any, like, do they live in our world? Like, are you living in what was it? It was 2022 back then. I mean, I guess I still don't think it was new back then. Like, come on. These cops never go anywhere and take an Uber. Do you advertise? Yeah, I take out ads in the newspaper. I call into the radio. I'm doing old time humor. I call into the radio show on Swap Shop and offer my phone number and services for. That's crazy.
And then people here then can get on the platform and get connected. They just request a ride, and then I get the ride request and I hit accept. Yeah, I'll come get you. Okay. And then you don't see who you're picking up till you get there.
Right.
You don't see where they're going till they get in the car and you slide it to like start the ride. And yeah, the university partnered with Uber last year. The university partnered with Lyft this year. Both say they give you the sticker to put on the windshield. Doesn't show up super well though. So like I bought like an Amazon little light thing that just goes in there. It says Uber Lyft. It just lights up to kind of be more seen or whatever.
He's fan.
But yeah, they don't do any real advertising. Most nights I'm the only driver in town. So
it's not like a taxi cab. Guys standing on the corner waving at you, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How many of you go out and catch an Uber like? People are just out standing on the corner going, taxi, Uber. No, we have these things called phones and apps. Okay. We have these things called phones and apps. The college girls are out there like showing their leg, like, hey, taxi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's funny. That's funny. Thanks for dropping all the amazing creators links that are in here. I saw Rolo in here too. Drop his channel. Anybody that's got a channel, please feel free. Drop their links. Go follow them. Watch their videos.
To go through the app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How come you're the only driver in town? I think that would be a pretty...
That's what the university keeps saying too with their partnerships. Like last year, they offered everyone 2 free rides a day, and at that time it was even to Pullman. You get paid the same as a driver, and they thought students were going to line up. And they did a big push on the campus with students to use Uber, drive for Uber, everything. We had a couple more last year. It's pretty much me and this other gal, and I haven't heard from her since like March. There's a few randoms every once in a while, and then this year there's been a couple others every once in a great while, but not really consistent.
Do they lose like interest? You don't know why they.
I don't know. Yeah, I know it was.
Okay, so let's think about that. No one else will drive Uber at the University of Idaho. They try. I would think, I would think there would be enough kids, but I don't know. College kids don't have a lot of money. Like I went to Kent State University. It was a very big, it's a spread out campus, lots of grass in between buildings. Like it's not everything like compacted. And, it was a hike to the downtown area, but we either walked or friends picked you up and drove you. And I mean walked, like long walks, but we didn't care back then. So I could see that. But here's the other, if you want to go the speculative route, okay? We know that we have this Uber driver here who is not taking payment for a lot of people. He is offering, there was little alcohol bottles seen in his car, things like that. The kids who are taking these Ubers are committed to him, for whatever reason. So the reason for that could be what's suspicious and something to look into, but oh, right. That's a good point too, Canny Meg. The kids don't need to take a professional driving company because they have their Sobros. Great point.
She was in like a or something like that, and was kind of concerned when gas prices started going up. And then she had a big problem with like, oh, these kids aren't tipping. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I get tipped on every ride, so I think that's a you problem. But like she like got to like light up tip box and everything, and yeah. And then some of the kids were telling me she like was having surgery. Some told me her car broke down, and I haven't reached out to her.
So it's customer base.
Wait a minute. Sorry, Carlos keeps texting me.
We had a couple more last year. It's pretty much me and this other gal, and I haven't heard from her since like March. There's a few randoms every once in a while, and then this year there's been a couple others every once in a great while, but not really consistent.
Do they lose like interest? And you don't know why they.
I don't know. Yeah, I know she was in like a or something like that, and was kind of concerned when gas prices started going up, and then she had a big problem with like, oh, these kids aren't tipping. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I get tipped on every ride, so I think that's a you problem. But like she like got to like light up tip box and everything, and yeah. And then some of the kids were telling me she like was having surgery. Some told me her car broke down, and I haven't reached out to her.
So it's customer base. If you have repeats,
yeah,
you repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Other people get you. Yeah. All right. So
Mhm.
you give them your phone number
If they ask.
if they ask.
Yeah, I don't like, hey, you want my number? I don't do the business cards or anything like that. Some of them, they ask if they can get my number, especially going to Pullman. It's considered a separate region, so I can't do pickups to the apps in Pullman. So if I take people over there, they're like, hey, how do we get back? Like, well, they have their own drivers. I don't know if they work, when they're working, whatever. And so a lot of times through that, people are like, well, can I just get your number and give you a text or give you a call if I can't get a ride back? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't want to leave anyone stranded. And yeah,
Is that kosher with Uber, or does that violate Uber's policies?
that is not kosher with Uber.
Yeah.
Once the ride's over, you're not supposed to like have contact with the passenger again. Like even just trying to get the names for the people I Ubered at like 3 a.m. or lifted at like 3 a.m. from.
Hold on. Love and Other Habits. Look at the arched window on the building. The column is crooked. Oh, I forgot you wanted me to look at that. Answer me in the chat. Do you want me to go back to the Grub Truck video? Is that what you were talking about? Hi, Perfect Prisoner. Moscow and Pullman are a single community. They're in two different states. Like I know they're close, but there's still a state line, right? There's still a state line. And they're not the only place in the country that's like that. There's places in every state, whatever state you're bordering, there's communities that are close. Where did that go? Where did that go? I'm losing my mind. Was that Love and Other Habits? There it is. Look at the arched window on the building. The column is crooked. I need to know if you need me to go back to the Grub Truck video. Do you guys know? Hi, Cat K. Thank you for that, Love and Other Habits. I am going to do that now because I will forget if I don't. All right, we are at 16:53. This is a request, you guys. Okay. Can you see this? All right. Love and Other Habits wants us to look at the arch on the building. And I think are you talking about this crooked piece right here? Thinking that it's like photoshopped or something. Wait a minute. Where are we at? Rollo, you crack me up. Trying to prove that this is like doctored in some way. What do you guys think? Love and Other Habits wanted us to look at that. And I apologize because you asked for that earlier. Oh shoot, no, I lost it again. I'm sorry. Right here. Look at the arched window. Okay, look at the arched window on the building. The column is crooked. Okay, so just yeah, I see what you're saying. It's too bad we can't see it behind. Yeah, to see the other side, because the truck's in the way, we would have to look at the other, the Grub Truck Twitch video to see if you can see it back there. But Yeah, I mean, they've definitely done some redacting to this video. There's no doubt. Like they've got these transparent blobs over here, like these blacks. Oh no. Oh, you know what? Those are the lights that I'm talking about. Those are lights. But I'm telling you, when Eric's car pulls up, it turns, there's like a pink thing that blocks something out. So yeah, so she's talking about this column right here. It's slanted. So when you look at the arch, like instead of it going straight down, it's crooked. Who knows? I mean, there is something solid behind it. But good observation. And if there's other footage out there, so we can just look to see if it's the same. We're just looking for discrepancies. That's why. And I want to thank you for that $5 donation.
I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the support. Thank you.
Our little peeps guy. Little peeps. I might just call him that. Little peeps. All right, let me get rid of this and go back to what we were at. Oh, wait, shoot. Right here. Sorry.
And yeah,
Is that kosher with Uber, or does that violate Uber's policies?
that is not kosher with Uber.
Yeah.
Once the ride's over, you're not supposed to like have contact with the passenger again. Like even just trying to get the names for the people I Ubered at like 3 a or lifted at like 3 a.m. from King Street. They're like, nope, we don't release passenger information. The law enforcement will have to contact us and do a formal subpoena and all that. Even though like I get their first name as part of the ride, but that's it. But then being the only
So
driver.
you tried to call Uber and try to provide that information to law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. I tried to, because Blake had asked me like, can you drop anyone off there? Like after that time or whatever. And I was like, I don't think so. I was trying to go through my rides. I didn't have any like drop offs, but I did have a pickup at 1119 King Street. So like around the corner, taking, I think, a guy and a gal or a guy and two gals, I can't remember, from there to campus at like 3:06, I think is when the ride request came in. And so through that, I was trying to just find like a first name, and I messaged them, and then they sent me to some specialized team once I told them like, this is for this investigation and everything. And they're like, oh, they're gonna have to contact us. Like, okay, well, how do they do that? Like, what's a good contact for? This chat has ended. Send a message if you want to continue chatting. Copy and pasted it again. Same messages. Never heard anything.
And that was Lyft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are they headquartered out of? Do you know where?
California. Both of them are California companies.
Well, since you hit it, or you got to that point.
Well, let's talk about your personal life, your family life. Let's see.
All right, so that's going to all be redacted, talking about his personal family life. So let me go until we get some more. I also got it on 1.25 speed because this is a long interview. Redacted.
Sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Do you own one of those?
Oh, wait, I didn't turn it on for this. What am I doing here? Voice boost, ambient, stable, sleep timer. This one won't do closed captioning. English, click for settings. What? What are you doing? Sorry, guys. Still redacted. Oh, there it is. It's coming on in a second. Coming on in a second. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you have.
Do you know what a K-bar knife is? Have you seen? Describe to me what a K-bar is.
K-bar, that's like the bayonet style that goes on like over the end of like an A2 style AR-15, correct?
Yeah, they have like a brown leather handle.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was thinking of just like a composite handle. But yeah, I've seen them like Fortune Fire and stuff like that.
Yeah, usually like a brown leather scabbard, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Do you own one of those?
I own a like bayonet like style with like the ring hook. Buddy gave it to me, but it's like a black composite handle.
Is it for your AR rifle?
He gave it to me. I don't have the style that it'll fit on, but I was trying to find like a lug to attach it to one just because I thought it'd be kind of cool. But I haven't been able to find a lug that you can just buy to just attach that without the whole gas block system.
Okay. I don't have any other more background stuff. Do you want to start with the ride history?
Sure. So let's go with that night. All right. When did you what was the first ride that you, I'm talking about the night, the 13th.
Okay, yeah.
So when did you get on duty? Let's call it that. When did you log on?
I would say all my records are on my phone. I don't have the greatest memory, but I worked the night before till about 3, 4 in the morning, something like that. I was going to try and start driving around 10 because it was WSU's game.
10 at night?
In the morning.
In the morning, okay.
And I was going to start.
Yes.
Saturday the 12th is the day we're talking about.
Yeah.
Then you drove.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Friday the 11th, sorry, I wolfed down a piece of pizza because I hadn't eaten all day, but I got your call. That's not sitting very well. So yeah, I had been up till 3 or 4 in the morning on Friday, night, Saturday morning, however you want to think of it, driving. And
Okay, it seems like they just jumped around a lot, didn't it? And plus I need to slow down the speed now because there's too much information in here. Let me go to normal and back this up because he starts talking about the 13th, then he goes to the 12th, then he goes to the 11th, then he's talking about, I thought he said you guys called me or something. This is weird. Okay, when did you get on duty?
All of that. When did you log on?
I would say all my records are on my phone. I don't have the greatest memory, but I worked the night before till about 3, 4 in the morning, something like that. I was going to try and start driving around 10 because it was WSU's game.
10 at night?
In the morning.
In the morning, okay.
And I was going to start.
So Saturday the 12th is the day we're talking about.
Yeah.
Then you drove.
Yep.
Okay.
So Friday the 11th, sorry, I wolfed down a piece of pizza because I hadn't eaten all day. But
So the cop is trying to get him to focus on Saturday, and he keeps going to, Friday, and the cop's like, Saturday, the 12th is what we're talking about. Okay, well, on Friday, I wolfed down a piece of pizza. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to follow this.
I got your call.
See, I hadn't eaten all day, but I got your call. You guys see that? It's right on the screen. Friday the 11th. I hadn't eaten all day. Unless something is redacted or cut out that is making this not fit in with Friday. But as far as I can tell from what I'm hearing, that's what it sounds like. So I could be wrong. But he said, I hadn't eaten all day, but I got your call. They're calling him on Friday? Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm going to look at my phone.
That's not sitting very well. So yeah, I had been up till 3 or 4 in the morning on Friday, night, Saturday morning, however you want to think of it, driving. And
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Just us and pixie dust. Context matters, so I appreciate this. You were saying, I think he burps, and he's saying, sorry, he just ate pizza. Like he just maybe wolfed down a piece of pizza the day of this interview. Gotcha. Thank you. Yes. Perfect prisoner. Hello. PHYLISE. Hi. I see you all the time in lots of chats. Welcome, welcome. I am unsure how to pronounce your name. Can you give me a pronunciation in the chat? I don't want to say it wrong, but welcome. And Suzanne B66, hello. Logan, hey you. Are you on a break? Are you on a lunch break or something?
Then went to bed, and then I wanted to start driving around 10. I ended up not waking up till 10, so I probably didn't start driving until 10:30, 11-ish or so. Tried to catch a few rides over to Pullman for their game because it was like $20 or so. And I ended up not getting any rides over there. I got one ride from the LLCs, I think, some dorms on campus, living learning communities, to Les Schwab for a guy to get his car or something. And I think that was my only ride of the afternoon, because then I shut the apps off around, I think like 1-ish maybe, to make some lunch, make some food. And then I think I started driving again around 3 or 4. And then if I remember right, it was pretty steady after that till 3 or 4, Saturday night, Sunday morning, whenever it was that I got home.
Is that usually a standard block of time when it gets busy, or is it just because of the games?
The games, and it was WC's Parents Weekend. It was U of I's.
Okay, so this is the information that's important, right? We're trying to establish everybody's whereabouts. And remember, this is an interview to eliminate Eric as a at least person of interest, possible suspect. He has to provide them some type of information to show he could not have been at that house, around that house, doing anything at that house around the time of the crime. So far what he has said is he was driving that Saturday night, the night that the crime happened, until 3 or 4 a.m. So that's not an alibi. I don't think that's getting you off the hook, Eric. What do you guys think in the chat? I mean, if you're saying you're giving rides till 3 or 4 a.m. and you're not using the app to prove your whereabouts, because I would think that would be the most reliable. You're just using text messages, not reliable. And then we'll compare this information from his interviews with what Braden has to say when Lana puts out that interview with better audio. And I got to make sure I got to go up because I asked how to pronounce that name. Someone did a whole breakdown about that building being highly altered. Gotcha. Yeah, he sure got that 4 a.m. Taco Bell receipt. And that's another thing we need to see. Wonder if there's a picture of that attached to any of the reports. They don't like to, at least Idaho State Police, they did insert images of things with their reports. I wish Moscow would have done that. Hi, Pink Alicious. Eric's phone data was not taken on November 16th for his first interview, but they did collect it at this interview. This is his second interview on November 18th. Yeah, Tony, I hung in there with it, but I couldn't hear anything during that interview. Yeah. He wanted a chalupa.
Senior night, last home game. So those days are more busy typically, but usually I don't start driving till like 7-ish, 8 o'clock, something like that at night. And then I'll drive till 2 or 3 in the morning, but usually by 3 it's pretty dead. Usually by 3 it's died off. And so especially if I start getting tired, my kind of personal rule is I'll start driving home. If I make it home before I get a ride, then I'll shut off the apps.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're in bed 3:30.
Typically, yeah. I think that night, I think it was 4-ish maybe. I had that last ride there at 3:06. I don't think I had a ride after that on the books, off the books, regardless. But like we have Ring cameras on both of our doors and on our driveway, so I can check that and tell you exactly what time I got home. But somewhere around in there.
Okay. So,
so you think that you got home on Sunday around 3, between 3 and 4?
Between 3 and 4, I would say probably closer to 3:34 or something like that, because I had that ride at 3:06.
So he's trying to say I got home between 3:30 and 4, but like Dago said, there was something about a Taco Bell receipt, right? Now I haven't heard him say that yet so far. Maybe that's coming up. Where did we get that from? The Taco Bell receipt? Because I thought that was like at 4 o'clock. Rollo, are you still talking about Taco Bell? Churros. Oh my God.
And it was just a campus, but as far as I remember, I just went home after that one, and then I didn't get another ride.
And we have the porch footage. We have the porch footage at 1112, showing all the cars coming and going. So if his 3:06 ride, like we can see, I believe. Well, okay, let me clarify. There's a car coming in that you see like come in. Looks like people are getting picked up, taken out at all hours of the night. And are any of those his vehicle? So is there anything on that video footage that would contradict what he's saying, right? What do you guys think about that? Oh, it's redacted again.
Your Ring camera footage. Is that right?
Yep.
So, look at this. Ding, ding, ding. Here we go.
So, but on this night, she wasn't there because she was with her parents. Mm-hmm. So your alibi is going to be.
Oh, he can't use wifey poo as an alibi, you guys. He can't use his wife as an alibi because she wasn't home. Yo quiero Taco Bell. I need to pull up that little dog, the little chihuahua. His wife's not home. So his alibi is going to be his Ring cameras. He's got to prove an alibi, you guys.
Be supported with your Ring camera footage. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Has anybody FOIA requested Eric Gower's Ring cam footage?
Okay. So I guess what we'll ask you to do is to log in. Do you pay the fee so it keeps the footage?
Yeah, we pay. It keeps the footage. I'm pretty sure we pay a fee for it. But yeah, I can go back in time and see all my history or whatever.
Okay. So if you would.
I don't know my login off the top of my head. I can try and figure it out when it gets back. But
no, if you would, can you just kind of draw a sketch of your house and the streets, and then where you park, and then where the camera is or cameras that you have, and what they show?
Yeah.
They're not only going to use his Ring camera footage, they're they're also going to probably go out into the community near his home. Like, where's the nearest gas station? Where's the nearest major intersection he would have to take to get into his neighborhood? You know, they'll start backtracking. Is he caught on those cameras? Can they verify that he's coming home at that time? Don't you think? So I think there would be a lot of footage for him.
Let's see.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Did not think about my paper right here. Looks like we have a front porch. So there's one right here on the front door that sees the whole front yard and the front porch and everything. And then we have, dang, I did not space it out. We have a garage right here. And then our fence kind of comes up like this. And so my pickup is parked on the far side. We have a little ghetto camper right here, and then pretty sure I parked right here, kind of in the last space that was available. And there's a ring camera on the front, like the peak of the garage, looking out at the vehicles, and the roadway right here. And then we have a back porch, and then there's a ring camera right here on our back door.
Okay, so how many vehicles do you have?
Total, we have 3.
Can you just initial that for me? Okay, so I'm sorry. You have the and a pickup.
Mm-hmm.
What's the pickup? This is the diesel that's lifted.
Yeah, it's not lifted anymore. I took the lift off. Trying to earn some brownie points with the wife.
And then what's your wife drive?
She drives.
Okay, wait a minute. When did you take the lift off? What day? I hope the cop goes back and asks that. That's important. Like, we see these trucks driving around constantly around these kids, right? When Xana's making that college video out on the street, white truck drives by. When they're out walking around that night downtown, trucks are, driving by. Did he say what color his truck was? But we need to know when that lift was taken off, because that's a description. What's your wife drive? Redacted.
And she had driven this vehicle up to her parents. So the 2 vehicles that you had access to were the
Job.
and those vehicles are both covered by this camera here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after you're home, if you had left again,
Mm-hmm.
we'd see that.
Yeah, it would trigger it. And then I'm pretty sure I have the garage one set up because it's on just a continual power supply. It takes pictures on so many increments.
So you don't have to have movement.
Correct. I'm pretty sure it's set up that way. That it takes. I don't remember what the increment is. I know the back door is not set up that way, but the front door is set up that way. But the back door, it's right by the front, right by the door. And like, I tried to turn the sensitivity down because even like the squirrels were setting it off, and it still didn't work. So
This Ring brand.
Mm-hmm.
So from the police interview right here, we were not allowed to hear his vehicles. We are allowed to know that he had a pickup truck that he took a lift off of. But there's no what kind of truck, what make and model, what color. So blank went to blank with blank on blank after you blank. Here's the transcripts for all Moscow PD interviews. We're trying to fill in those blanks. He over explains. Uber is his second job. Someone said he works in the financial department of Idaho University. Oh, at one time you could look on Google Maps to see that it wasn't lifted. Oh my God, that's crazy. How do we know what his other vehicles are? Someone probably looked at his name and found his registrations and all that stuff. Oh, I see, Rolo. You told me. Would you say a Dodge Ram? Dodge Ram white. Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, I know I can look this up later. Also, yeah, he supposedly works for the university and his wife works for the police department. Hello. Hello. I know. I know. I love her. Wife drives a 2013 white Elantra with no fog lights. I love you guys. You make me laugh. He just casually reversed a lift kit on a truck.
Okay.
So you can provide us with a recording of this. Is that correct? You know how to do that?
Yeah. You can export videos.
Okay.
I don't know if I can export like the interval pictures. I've never tried. But yeah, it's all attached to the account.
This is an issue I have with like lots of businesses and stuff too. Like, why are they asking him to do their work? Like, do they like get a search warrant, go to Blink, get his recorded images off his device? Like, it's all through Wi-Fi and the cloud. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess it's faster if he wants to cooperate and say, like, here immediately you can see, but do it the right way.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about that night with your pickups here. Mm-hmm. What time did you first? Well, let's back up. What's your past relationship, for lack of a better word, with Kaylee and Maddie and anybody else associated with that residence?
Sorry. That residence is hard because it's very popular. All of King Street is very popular over the years. And that one has a lot of people that have come through it, especially like alumni that come back for like homecomings and just come to visit. I had not gotten names and faces down for there. I would show up, pick up whoever. Kaylee is the one that usually texts me. But it took me quite a while to even figure out which one she was, because it was always a group there. It's never just like usually one person. But even like when we got the Vandal Alert, like someone on King Street, I tried to text everyone I could remember that lived on King Street. And I never heard back from Kaylee, obviously, which makes sense now. But I also never heard back from and I thought she lived there or one of the houses next door. And, well, it's not my business necessarily if she's okay, but I just thought it was kind of weird. I never heard back from her, but I thought maybe she lived there. But I pick them up. They text me like, hey, can you give us a ride? Sometimes they come through the app. Sometimes they come. So
that's an important piece of information right there. There is somebody that he picked up so frequently that he thought they lived at 1122 King Road. Who do you guys think that is?
Through text messages. And pull up and meet them wherever they told me to and give them a ride to wherever they told me to. Sorry, kind of forgot what your question was.
Well, how long had
Yeah, kind of forgot what your question was because he goes on these rants, not answering the question. So the question was, what was your relationship with Kaylee and Maddie? And then he goes on to talking about all these people that are, all these other people. So, I would expect an answer of they were clients, they took rides from me. I wish and I hope they do ask, how did Kaylee get your number? Because remember earlier he said, I only give my number if someone asks for it. And he gave the example of, oh, hey, you brought me to Washington State, but I won't be able to call you or I won't be able to use Uber to get you to come pick me back up. Can I get your number? Okay. So how did Kaylee get your number? When did she get your number? How long has she had your number? Oh my goodness.
and you know Kaylee on a first name basis because you've given her, how many rides do you think you've given her?
I don't know, maybe 10 to 15.
Since when?
I think I've been giving her a ride since maybe beginning of last year. I think we got connected during last school year. But like I'm on a first name basis, but I don't know her last name. At least I can't think of it off the top of my head. When they Venmo me, sometimes I'll see last names. But like at least right now I can't even think what her last name was. Well, obviously in the news article. But yeah,
So of the four of them, which ones of them have you given rides to?
I know Kaylee and Maddie. I think they were usually together. A couple blonde gals. I assume I've probably given the other two a ride, but I couldn't tell you for sure. Either way, I didn't recognize either of the names, but people aren't usually saying like, "Hey,
you don't recognize the male in there."
Maybe I picked up a couple guys from there over the years, but they're usually with the group, and it's not like people are, hey, this is Ethan, or sometimes they're like, hey, you haven't met, this is so and so, but I'm like, hey, but it happens.
So the cop just asked him, do you recognize that one? And then I can tell by what he's saying, it was a picture of Ethan. So I showed him a picture of Ethan. Probably because they're trying to figure out, right? How did Xana and Ethan get home? Where were they? What exact time did they get home?
A lot. So
there's pictures of him without facial hair.
Doesn't even look like the same guy. He looks like he's like 30. Maybe. I don't know.
All right.
At least, especially when the names came out, especially Xana, was that? I didn't recognize that one at all. Okay. That's a pretty unique name, so I think I would probably remember it.
And you have driven Kaylee away from that location and back to that location on multiple.
Mm-hmm. People associated with that house.
Okay. Is it a place where you're familiar with? Is there other houses in there that you go to, or kind of the same thing? Other people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's. They call it King Cabin, but it's kind of the cabin-y looking house at the top of King Street. There's a two houses that are connected on kind of the right side, and this one's kind of on the left side. Those are probably like my most regular customers. This house right up here.
This is King Cabin.
Yeah, so King Street. Yeah. So the two that are connected, that's probably where my most common, or most.
Have you guys heard that before? King Cabin? Which house is King Cabin? I haven't heard that one. King Cabin. The Pie Fi's house is the King Cabin? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. 1126. Thanks, Phenomemon. Hello. Kane. Hello, Kane. He was over there a lot. Of course he was. Go back and watch my video all about the frats and sororities and the cartels and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Connecting dots over here. We're connecting dots over here. Are you driving? Are you driving? King Cabin. Just speculating over here. Everything I say is my ideas and opinions. You think it's the pie fies. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys. Shoot. Is Gower's address on, was it White Thorn Road, White Thorn Drive? What is that? What is that reference? White Thorn Drive. Anybody know that? And I got to figure out the King Cabin.
Regular customers, or however you want to think of it, right now are. I think, and
They're here.
yeah, those are the ones I usually pick up. But all these, like the whites, is what they call these ones right here. A lot of rides out of there. Quite a few rides last year out of here.
Do you know him?
I don't think so. No.
Associated with this house?
There was a guy that got out here one night when I was Ubering Zoe, but I don't think he had facial hair. I just know that that's Beta Theta Pi, mostly on, I think, this side, and then I think maybe Sigma Nu on this side.
Okay.
Ubered a guy that was a Sigma Nu the other day because he's cousins with a friend of mine.
Do you know what his name is?
I want to say it started with, but I don't remember.
So he's talking about a house that has Beta Theta Pi on one side and Sigma Nu on another.
Yeah, he's
And he doesn't remember the other one.
cousins with who I went to high school with and was in with and everything. And he's
Okay.
And so you call these apartments here what?
the campus calls them the Whites. Just
The
'cause
Whites.
They're two giant white apartments, and so I get a lot of rides out of here.
Did you pick up Kaylee out of here last year?
I would believe so, but I
Don't remember.
Yeah, I get a lot of rides kind of from all over, and then kids moving all over.
Okay. So Kaylee was a former Pi-Fi, correct? And it sounds to me, because we can't see what the cop's pointing to, but it sounds to me like the cop is asking, did you give Kaylee a lot of rides out of here last year? And here would be the sorority house. You guys think? Connecting Eric to the sorority house, and the sorority is on probation for, unhealthy drugs, alcohol, hazing violations.
Unless in them, I see them almost every weekend. A few others, last year for about 3 years, I Ubered two gals about every weekend, and I knew where they went, typically where they were going, and that sort of thing. But some of these kind of peripheral people, then kind of the kids started giving my number out to friends and everything, and so I'd be like, "Who's this again?" I had someone, I think that night, texted me. I have him on my phone, so I assume I've met them before, but I was like, I don't even remember if this is a guy or a gal. But they're friends of friends or something like that. They share my number around some.
So when you got home between 3:30 and 4, did you receive a call?
So he just said earlier, I don't like to give out my number a lot, but now here the kids are just sharing his number. It's the mad Uber dash for, hey guys, I got an Uber guy's number. Do you want the Uber number? Is that really what they're sharing it for?
Call or a text asking to come pick somebody up to take them to go get food?
Not that night. I did get a text Thursday night.
Wait a minute. Did he just ask about picking them up to get food? Yep. This here comes
Between
Dylan.
3:30 and 4, did
Dylan has entered the chat.
you receive a call or a text asking to come pick somebody up to take them to go get food?
Not that night. I did get a text Thursday night, I think it was. Something like that. A gal had texted like, "Hey, can we get a ride to Grub Truck?" And I didn't see it for a couple of minutes. I was like, "Oh, shoot, sorry, just saw this." She's like, "Oh, it's okay, we're home now." And then I was like, "But if you wanted to bring us Grub Truck, I'll pay you anything." And
So wait a minute, you guys. So we're like all confused about the timeline of this crime, right? We're hearing sounds at 2 something a.m. The cops say it, and Dylan says it happens after 4 a.m. Okay. The cop just asked him, did you get a text after you were home? He said he got home after 3:30 a.m. 3:30 to 4 a.m. Did you get a text asking about going to get food, going to pick up food after you were home? Why is the cop thinking someone texted him after 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning to go get food? Because the receipts and everything, Dylan said they did it at 2 something. 2 something. Watch here at the end, pay attention. Okay.
Then I tried to pull up the Grub Truck stream because I kind of want to Grub Truck myself, and it was off.
We gotta go to this place.
I know.
Well, like, they live stream everything, of course, and so it's kind of how I check to see if they're still open. And sometimes they close early on slower nights. I pulled up the stream and it was off, and so I just texted back. It looks like they're closed already. The stream's off.
But you think that was Thursday night?
I don't think it was Saturday night / Sunday morning. No, I think it was Thursday night, maybe Friday night, but I don't think it was Saturday night.
So I'm going to go back to these apartments.
Mhm.
I've only driven up here a couple of times, so I'm not familiar. So we have the whites,
Mhm.
and then up the hill is these 2 big multi-story apartments. What are those called?
At least when I was in school, we called them the Queens, just
Okay.
because it's on Queen Street.
Do you get a lot of calls to go up there and pick up people?
Not really. It's pretty rare to go up there.
Are they associated with the school?
It's mostly students, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
but like they're not university owned or anything. I'll get a ride once in a while up there. A buddy of mine's sister lived up there for a year. So her and her friends, I dropped them off once or twice, but it's pretty rare. Once in a while, I'll go do the loop just to turn around, depending on how many cars are parked right here. But usually, especially if I was dropping off this house, I was able to just turn and then back out and then go.
Okay. Should we get into the specifics of the picking them up that night?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what time about did you first hear from Kaylee or anybody associated with this house about coming and picking them up?
I think Kaylee texted me early, like 2, 3. I think it seems like it was early afternoon, asking if I was working that night or that day, and I said I was, but I never heard back from her. And then I think it's like 10 something is when she texted and asked if I could give my ride to the club.
Which club?
Corner Club. Everyone just calls it the club. Yeah, Corner Club. And so I picked him up.
Was it a text or phone call?
Text. Picked him up, gave him a ride to the club. I think there was 3 of them. Just trying to remember when Officer Baker was interviewing me. Because I think there was at least 2 in the back seat.
All females?
I think so, yes. Gave him a ride to the club, dropped him off.
Directly from there, directly to the club without any sign.
Because Kaylee's always in the front seat, right? Kaylee's always in the front seat. Oh, Rolo says, here it comes, and I just stopped. Sorry. I'm just looking at comments real quick. Watchy's going to check and say, oh, the text was Friday night. Because he just said Kaylee texted him at 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, just wanting to know if he's working. You know, hey, hi, Uber driver. Are you working right now? I don't need a ride, but I just want to know if you're working right now. I think that's a code, you guys. I think that's a code. All right, I'm continuing on right now.
Ups in between.
Correct.
So where is this club? Where is the club?
It's right on the north end of Main Street, right before Han Rental. It's on like the one-way part of 95 before it merges at the next light to then have traffic going both ways.
Would you describe this area that we're talking about as the business district? Is it an entertainment district?
I would describe it as Main Street.
Okay.
Weird.
Pretty much everything, entertainment, business-wise, is all on Main Street.
Okay.
The major road kind of makes a little horseshoe kind of thing. So each side of Main Street is one way, and it's right on the end, right before they kind of merge back together.
Okay.
How many times, if at all, how many times before had you taken Kaylee and Maddie or either one of them from their house to the Corner Club?
probably several. That's usually where everyone's going is the corner club. Occasionally I'll have rides to other places, but most people are going to the corner club. I mean, I think all of this in general is why I've gotten Kaylee and Maddie's names drilled down so hard. But before this, I didn't really get in. I just knew it was a group. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I keep it pretty impersonal, or asking like, yeah, how was the night? How was downtown? Head to the club, right? Whatever. But
have you ever had a conversation with one or both or any of them, or overheard a conversation where they were talking about something that was upsetting to them, their relationship or something that made them upset?
I don't think so. Blaker asked me the same kind of thing, like if they had said anything about that night or in general. I don't think so. I've definitely had some people like just bawling their eyes out in the seat next to me about their shitty friends or shitty significant other or whatever. But I don't, like, everything seems normal. Like, I think if anything, like whenever anyone gets in the car, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And how's the day? How's the night? Whatever. Usually everyone says, oh, good. Oh, great. Whatever.
You're being personal.
Yeah. But I try and keep it, I don't, being the only Uber and Lyft driver, I do my very best to try not to be a creep, because if anyone gets that vibe, I'm going to quickly be out of a job. So try my best to just keep it as professional or whatever as I can. But then, yeah, it's, how's the night going? Oh, good. Occasionally I've had someone say, oh, it's awful, but those are pretty rare. And so I usually remember those, like time this gal said, oh, it's shitty. And I was taking her to the ER. I was like, oh yeah, probably is shitty. But nothing stood out. Everything seemed normal. They were going to the club.
Could you tell if they'd been drinking before they left to go to the club?
I would assume so, but most of the people I see are already a few in. So it's rare for me to see anyone sober to know for sure, like, oh, that's them sober versus, oh, this is them drunk. But they weren't like, slurring their words or falling down or anything like that.
So when you went and picked them up, you think there was possibly 3 girls. Do you remember what the conversation was on the way to the club? What they were talking about?
I don't.
Interesting.
I don't remember it being anything crazy. I think asked them how the week had been, if they went to the game. I think we probably talked about the football game, and that was a disappointing loss and all of that. But that's kind of the perk / downside of it. Like, I had the same conversation pretty much all night. Like,
Do you think those girls were watching the game that day? I don't think those girls knew anything about that football game. That's just my opinion. Oh, we're so upset about the football team leaving. No.
same. Oh, what did you do today? You go to the game. Oh, yeah. It was, so distinguishing rides is hard. I don't remember.
They didn't go to the game, did they? I didn't think they actually went to the game. Am I wrong? They went to the Whites. Hi, Meanie. I don't think they went to the game.
Anything standing
The only people that I think went to the game were the people that had to work at the game.
out as far as like, them complaining about anything or upset about anything.
They weren't fighting amongst themselves or arguing amongst themselves.
No. If anything, on the way home, Maddie and Kaylee were bickering a little bit between themselves, mostly Kaylee towards Maddie.
So let's talk about that. So you drop them off the club, and then you go give a bunch more people rides. And then what happens vis-a-vis the 2 of them?
So I had a ride request at King Street from this. I think that was the address. That's where the pickup pin was, at least. And it said Kaylee on it. That's who I was looking for. And it was spelled the same way. But then it got canceled. The rider canceled it. And so right as I started to pull away, then I got a text.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's listen to this carefully. Okay, what happened after you dropped the girls off at the corner club?
I had a ride request at King Street from.
I had a ride request at King Street. I'm writing this down, you guys. Is this what you were talking about, Rolo? Ride request at King Street. Maddie and Kaylee are not at King Street. They're at the corner club.
This. I think that was the address. That's where the pickup pin was, at least. And it said Kaylee on it. That's who I was looking for. And it was spelled the same way. But then it got canceled.
Ride request at King Street. It said Kaylee, but then canceled. Okay.
The rider canceled it. And so right as I started to pull away, then I got a text from Kaylee asking if I could come get her and a friend from Grub Truck.
So right after the canceled ride, Kaylee texts to get picked up from Grub Truck. What do you guys think about that?
Truck. And so got down there and it was Maddie.
About what time was that?
They texted me at 1:45.
How can somebody well, it's okay, so it's not on the app, so it's not on the Uber app. It's going to be a personal text message. But then he said it pinned. The only way that the location can pin to him would be if he's using the app, correct? And nobody's going to be able to use the app with Kaylee's name and pin except Kaylee. What's going on with that? What's going on with that? Oh, sorry, Kane. Is that me? Sorry. You heard they didn't go. Right. I'm just saying, he said the pinned location. I think the only way you're going to get a pinned location for a pickup is through the app, right? She was drunk and set the location wrong, then said, let me just text him. Maybe. Why didn't she say pick up her and Maddie and not her and a friend? Ooh, that's interesting. She accidentally went through Uber and then didn't want to. Yes. You're good, Christy. You're good. Yeah, I know you can like send your location on a map map app, but I'm just thinking it was like for the pickup, he's saying.
I believe. Got down there, I pulled in front of Grub Truck, and so I texted her like where I parked at, and you can probably see me, but again, everyone's drunk, so it's really hard to find the only car that's down there running. And so I park in front of Grub Truck, so they got their mac and cheese, and they came up to the car from the back. Kaylee got in the front seat, Maddie got in the back, and they were splitting a mac and cheese, a carbonara mac, and kind of asking how that night was. I don't remember him saying like, awful or so-and-so or whatever. Or she said it was fine. And then she was on her phone. Kaylee was on her phone and pretty enthralled in that. And so I just was driving, had the radio on. And then she's like, hey, don't eat all the mac and cheese to Kaylee. Or Kaylee said that to Maddie, Maddie was sitting in the back seat. And she's like, what? And she's like, don't eat all the mac and cheese. We're going to split that. And she's like, I'm not. She's like, I can hear your dirty little fingers in there eating it. She was eating the mac and cheese with her hands. And then like kind of bickered a little bit about that, but it wasn't anything even like remotely alarming. It was just a couple drunk people arguing over mac and cheese. But then dropped them off. I pulled in the driveway. They got out.
You drove directly from Grub Truck to here.
Yep.
Didn't stop anywhere else.
Nope. I took Main Street south to 6th Street, I think. I turned right on 6th, and then at the next intersection there by Jimmy John's, turned left on Troy Highway, whatever that is. And then I think I took that all the way to Taylor by the A&W gas station, and I turned right on Taylor, and then drove right straight down here. Pulled in their driveway. It's easier to turn around that way. They got out.
You came here, did this, drove here.
Turned in right here, yeah, into their driveway.
But this is this way.
Maddie was definitely more intoxicated, I felt like, than Kaylee. Kaylee quieter, but Maddie was stumbling pretty hard. And so I just kind of everywhere as I'm backing out, kind of take my time, make sure they make it in okay. And so I backed out, and they both went inside, and everything seemed fine. And
You saw them go inside? Mm-hmm. Saw the door shut behind them?
I know. I did not. I saw Kaylee go in, and then right as I was kind of turning up the road, then Maddie went in, and I was driving away then. I didn't see the door physically shut, no.
How many cars would you say were in the driveway or the parking area in front? Would you say it's crowded?
It was a little bit. I think there was 4 in the physical driveway, and then there was 1 or 2 parked right here on the side of the road, because I remember as I was backing out, making that corner was kind of tight. Had a whole lot of ground clearance in general, and there's kind of a curb that sticks out, but there was like a black SUV parked right here that kind of made it tight.
I agree.
And
Were the lights on in the apartments?
I don't remember the whole thing lit up, but there was lights on inside. Yeah. Especially like that main door. Cause like when they opened the door, the light was on right there. I think there was a couple others inside.
How many cars did you estimate were parked there?
I think there was 4 in the physical driveway itself. I think there was 3 and then the 4th double parked right on the far side.
And that was a black SUV?
I think it was a black SUV. Yes.
So it didn't look like there was a party going on in the place,
No.
but there were lights on.
Correct.
Do you remember if they were lights on downstairs or the upper floors?
I don't. I know there's one on downstairs because when they opened the door, like the light was on.
They don't have a porch light or a driveway light?
They do have one, I think, on the exterior of their house, but it's usually off whenever I drive up, because especially like this house has some really steep stairs and they don't have one. So as I'm backing out, the headlights kind of give them a little bit of light. But I'm pretty sure they do have an exterior light. I don't remember it being on, though. I remember thinking it was kind of dark.
Do you remember seeing a red Jeep Wrangler parked in the driveway?
I don't think so. I think
Could there have been one and you just don't remember it?
Yeah, very easily. I remember the black car, and then I think there was a silver car parked right here on the road, because those were the 2 I was kind of trying to maneuver around. But yeah, I believe there was, and I believe there wasn't.
So that's cars. Let's talk about people. Was there anybody walking on the roads?
No, it was pretty quiet. It's kind of not unusual, but a little weird. But it's also getting pretty cold. We lost, so especially like on King Street, there's usually kind of a lot of traffic as people walk back over. I mean, these are all off-campus apartments, especially big in the Greek communities. But I don't remember seeing anyone as I pulled away, because Kaylee said that she was eating mac and cheese in the backseat with her hands. That didn't sound super good. So as I pulled out, I parked right here on this corner for just a second.
Okay, which is the intersection of
King and Taylor.
Okay.
I just pulled off there just for a second, turned on my light. Sure enough, there was mac and cheese noodles and some breadcrumbs on my backseat. So I hopped out real quick and brushed those off.
King and Taylor? Wait a minute. I thought he said before he pulled on down to like the Queen Road apartments to clean out his car. Right?
But I don't remember seeing anyone as I pulled away, because Kaylee said that she was eating mac and cheese in the backseat with her hands. That didn't sound super good. So as I pulled out, I parked right here on this corner for just a second.
Okay, I swear, hopefully I wrote it down. Let me see. This is why I took notes. He said he pulled off at, let me see. Let me look. Let me find it. Swore he said he pulled off by the Queen Road apartments the first time. Now he's saying he left King Road and made that corner and cleaned his car. So he's changing that. What do you guys think? Did he change that story? All these details, but can't remember the exact time he got home. That didn't sound super good. Oh. That's true, meaning no follow-up needed.
Which is the intersection of.
King and Taylor.
Okay.
I just pulled off there just for a second, turned on my light. Sure enough, there was mac and cheese noodles and some breadcrumbs on my back seat, so I hopped out real quick and brushed those off. I don't remember seeing anyone walking in this area. There might have been someone along in here crossing or getting ready to cross to the whites for one of these houses. Because whenever I'm driving, seems like there's always someone crossing this field, and they're just in all dark clothing, and they just start walking out in the middle of the road. I did have a lot of rides there, so it's hard to keep them all straight. But I think there might have been a couple or something like right here getting ready to cross into the whites, or had just crossed.
When you stopped your car here, did you
stop down here?
You stopped down here.
Yeah.
You got out of your car to brush the macaroni and cheese out.
Yeah. Yeah. I went ahead and turned.
This is what
Taylor.
So you were King and Taylor.
Yeah, I just turned sharp, so I was kind of not in the middle of the intersection because that is a tight intersection. And I just parked kind of like right here by this bush and hopped out, brushed off the mac and cheese and bacon bits and whatever, and then hopped back in the car because I had a ride immediately after that I was heading to.
So let's go back to people. Was there anybody in the driveway of this house where Kaylee and
not when I pulled up? No.
How did they pay you for that ride?
They actually never did. It's not unusual for any of the off the books works. I'll get Venmos the next day. Just on Sunday, my phone will just go off. Especially like there's always Venmo me on Sunday. So it's not uncommon at all. But they never paid me for either of those rides that night. So I never received anything from either of them.
So you picked them up from their house and took them to the club, and they didn't pay you for that ride?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with the college kids, it's not unusual for them to like the next day they're sorted out and like, hey, you Venmo me $250, you Venmo me, and then they just send me one amount or whatever. I've never had anyone not pay me, so I've never really been worried about it.
So you've never had to text somebody and say, hey, you didn't pay me?
Nope.
Okay.
I always remember.
How does Uber?
Okay. I want to hear this payment part, but I found my notes. So in the first interview that was done on November 16th, he told the cops, after I dropped Kaylee and Maddie off, I pulled into the Queen Road apartments and or the road near, that area by the Queen Road apartments to clean off my seats. In this interview, he's saying I pulled off around the corner of the King and Taylor intersection to clean off my seats. 224 E Street. Okay. It's something I'll probably do later, though. I'm gonna. I've been on here for a long time. I know Dago's probably going live. I want to watch the end of this. We got about 20 more minutes.
Deal with that. So this was off the books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Off the books.
Did you ever give rides to any of these people for?
It's not just off the books. He's saying they didn't have to pay. Again, you guys, nothing's free. So those girls did not pay that night for their ride. So no payment that night. That's weird. What's going on there? Like what's the deal there? There's got to be a deal. Nothing's for free. So if I'm giving you free rides, how am I getting reimbursement?
Free?
No.
Give me a second. I'm going to check on his phone.
There's always a understanding that they'll pay me.
Red flag, red flag. I need to get a red flag.
Have you ever had an occasion to go into this house?
No.
Have you ever gone into any of the houses of people that you pick up?
No, not through the.
Okay, so here we go. I think it was Meanie. Correct me if it was someone else that said, how did he know the steep steps, right? Now, I would think if the front door was open and you're there long enough, you could notice that, right? It's a straight shot. If the door is open, you could see that. But maybe the cops picked up on that because now they're asking him, have you ever been in that house? Or have you ever had an occasion to go in that house? Nope. Oh, now it's redacted. Redacted.
I had been in a couple of these houses, but through the rides and everything, no, I've never gone into.
What? What does he say?
I had been in a couple of these houses.
I had been in a couple of these houses. I had.
But through the rides and everything.
Oh, but it was through the rides and everything. Hey, Uber driver, come on in for a second. Hang out while I finish getting ready. He has been in a couple of these houses. Which houses, you guys? He has been in a couple of these houses. Alpha Phi? He's been in Alpha Phi. Which houses has he been on? Yes, I will go check out Bubbly. I love her. I know, Rolo. I go slow, and I hear, I hear a lot of things that everybody's like onto and everything, but yeah. As far as like really diving into something, yeah, I know. It's okay. He has been in a couple of these houses.
No, I've never gone into anyone's house. Closest I came is that this house was bringing in someone that was pretty.
Wait, he just contradicted himself. He's just contradicted himself. Yes, I went in the houses. No, I've never gone into these houses.
She drunk one night and she dropped her phone. So it was my regulars, and so I followed her up with the phone and gave her the phone as they went inside. Okay.
Ooh, I think dude is
What else?
I can't think of anything right now. If we get a hold of you, would you? Okay.
You guys, would you ever be in an interview with the cops and say, what else? Oh, what else? I think he got pushed to the brink with that question. Yeah, but everyone pushing gossip and fairy tales. Yeah, for sure, Rolo. That's what I'm doing too, and that's why it takes me so long, Try to stick with what do the docs say? What do what do interviews? What's said in interviews? What's said on body cams? All that. So
I'm interested in the videos. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're going to either task you with that, or we'll ask we can do it. But we're interested in that video because obviously there's that.
Yeah.
Did you stop and talk to anybody else other than your passengers?
What videos is the guy talking about? Back to the videos of his house to prove when he's home, or is there another video? We're interested in that video.
Car. So did you pull up to get something to eat somewhere and talk to somebody? Did you pull into Starbucks to get something to drink?
Not after that. I stopped by some of the gas stations sometimes to get energy drinks and stuff like that. But at that point in the night, I was pretty much trying to kind of ease off the caffeine so I could actually go to sleep. I couldn't tell you when the last time I stopped was. It was probably at the Stinker station next to Tri-State on the Moscow Pullman Highway.
Stinker station.
I go there pretty frequently.
What's a Stinker station?
Sometimes I go to A&W, but I don't think I even went there at all that night.
When do you eat?
I usually eat dinner around kind of normal time, take a break, whatever.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
This guy is struggling.
Were Kaylee and Maddie, when you gave them, well, let me ask you this. The third girl with them, do you know who that was? Does anyone ring a bell?
Maybe. It seems familiar with that house.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what she looks like or if she was in the car.
Okay, so you don't know whether you'd given her a ride before. Did you ask, did it come up why she wasn't with them when you picked them up at the Grub Truck?
No, if I pick them up at the bars and I realize that someone's missing, sometimes I'll ask them like, hey, where's your third or your fourth? But if I pick them up somewhere else, I just figure they parted company, they're with friends or whatever. So no, I didn't ask him.
I was just asking about the third girl.
Oh, okay.
So wait a minute. So I was asking what video do they want? Does he have a dash cam in his car? Did I miss that? I have a dash cam in my car. It came with it, and I've never set it up because I don't know how to do it. Should I do it, you guys? Should I set up my dash cam in my car? I think it would be cool. Yeah, we haven't heard anything about a Taco Bell yet, and I don't know what this stinker station thing is. I don't know about that. All right, let me finish this. I want to finish this.
Was it the state of inebriation that you observed them in at the end of the night? Was that pretty typical for Kaylee and Maddie?
I'd say it was typical in general. It wasn't like excessive, like that's what the drunkest people I've ever had, or anything like that.
Just watching the video from the Grub Truck, I mean, it's obvious they've been drinking.
Yeah.
Kind of stumble around.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I didn't have any thoughts of like, dang, they were hammered or anything like that. So I don't think that was untypical for them. But as far as like
Typical.
that house, I think it's pretty normal. If anything, they're usually more kind of on the sober side. Yeah, I
Sober
can't remember.
side.
There've been some that have stumbled every once in a while, but for the most part, they got it pretty well together. Because especially like in the winter and stuff like that, that house, that driveway is super slick, and I've never had anyone take a spill or anything like that.
So I'm going to write down here, their state of inebriation was pretty normal or standard.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, pretty standard.
So, do you know what these girls we're talking about, Kaylee and the other girl? Do you know what they're studying in school? Do you just talk about school at all?
Sometimes, if I ask someone about school, especially if someone like, don't have all the time, I'll usually ask, how much time do you have left, stuff like that. If they're getting close to graduation, what do you have planned afterwards? I couldn't have told you what they were studying. Even the university even put it out, and I think one of them used to be in the College of Ed. But that didn't ring a bell, like as far as, oh yeah, I did know that or anything. So at least I didn't know it enough that it stuck. I'm sure they probably had told me at some point because
It's not one of the conversation.
it is usually talk about school, talk about how get your test done, how's the week been, excited for break, stuff like that. But as far as like content area, I'll ask it, but it doesn't really stick a whole lot.
All right. And so I'm going to couch this with,
Was that
would you
relative?
describe this evening we're talking about late into the morning as mostly you were off the books?
No, most of them were on the books. I did have a few off, so the one I was going to, as soon as I dropped them off, that was off the books as well.
Okay.
What? Okay, so he's literally telling the cop, this was my whole night was practically through Uber app. All right, dude, bring the receipts. But there was just a couple that were off.
And then after I dropped him off, I came home, and then I was home till I got that 3 o'clock ride. Went and gave that, and then I came home right after that. That was my last.
So a percentage of that day or night,
Mhm.
what percentage was on the books and what percentage was off the books? So I guess I'm asking.
Off the books, 5-10% probably.
Okay.
I had a couple, but for the most part, everything was through the apps.
Okay.
I had a couple people that texted me, or at least one that texted me that never heard from him. I asked if I was working. I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
But sometimes people just text me to see if I'm working to then know if they should just wait to order right through the apps or if there's no drivers. So like if I go to Pullman, it shows that there's no one available until I get back. So sometimes people
Right. So you're the guy.
Mhm.
Okay.
mouth sound effects again. Few more minutes of this. Oh, is someone else coming in? I just heard a door close.
When you heard this had happened, what did you think?
I was pretty shocked, but I was like, there's no way it's a student. It's it's an unconscious person. Figured maybe somebody drunk fell down this hill, or passed out in the cold. I mean, it's happened up here before where drunk people have walked off and froze to death.
At what point did you think that's what it was?
When I first started, the police were responding to an unconscious person through the vandal alert. And it was on King Street. And so I texted 4 people that I thought all lived on King Street. Kaylee, and then I think it was the other one. And through them, one of them's like, yeah, it's, super scary, don't know what to do, whatever.
So, sorry, who did you text?
I think it's how you say your last name. Spelling
What's your list? Okay.
And then they both live right here.
Yeah, and she's a friend of Kaylee's, I think.
So when I texted her, I texted all of them at the same time, and then Kaylee,
and who else?
I think is the other person. I don't know her last name. I just know her as other. I have one that is kind of friends with everyone here, and
girl.
Yeah, at one time.
Other girl.
Yeah, they're like, can you go pick up other? And that's how they refer to her. I don't know what her last name is. But I texted all four of them. Replied back that something like, like super scary, don't know what to do or something like that. And then texted back like, yeah, praying for Kaylee's house. And so that's how I figured out kind of what house it was at. And then I never heard back from Kaylee. Obviously, I never heard back.
When did you become aware that it was a quadruple homicide and that they'd been stabbed to death?
The quadruple homicide through the vandal alerts, the stabbing just whenever the press release went out, an edged weapon. We're all kind of trying to hypothesize or whatever. So when we said 4 dead, we're like kind of thinking, probably like fentanyl. They probably were doing some drugs or something. And they just, party drugs, whatever, and probably got fentanyl. And then heard through kind of the grapevine, people were thinking there was a lot of blood. And so then I was like, well, even King Street doesn't sleep sound enough to sleep through 4 gunshots. There's no way that would go unnoticed. And so then I was thinking it was probably either stabbing or blunt force, and then found out edged weapon or edged like weapon, whatever was in the press release.
When did the vandal alert come out that 4 were dead?
I couldn't tell you. The first one I think got sent out at 1:05.
Same day though.
Yeah. They're all on my phone. All the text messages the university sent out.
So when you finally understood that 4 were dead and that they'd been murdered with a knife, what did you think?
This doesn't happen in Moscow. This is the first thought. Kind of once I got past the shock of it, when we found out mail and.
Kane, you can drop the link to that. To that episode, and then everybody can go check that out. Kane talking about the gang stalking.
Females. Kind of figured, especially grade levels, he was a freshman, and I think they were all juniors and seniors. Kind of figured he got the boot and then kind of flipped on him. But then they're all the same age levels and everything, and obviously the pictures and everything, it doesn't seem like that would probably be the way that would go. But no, just initial shock of this never happens. This is Moscow. Every door on that side of town is probably unlocked. I remember when we had a buddy that went missing one night, and we were going through all of our friends' houses trying to find him, and it was final steps. So everyone was out of their houses, and every house that went through on that.
All right, we don't need to know about your friend. Not a violent town. There's a public bathroom down there, so every night. And the last time I did that, I walked in.
I don't say without profiling, but crackhead at the scene.
A crackhead.
Already committed. He's going to the bathroom. He was sharpening a fillet knife at 2:30 in the morning in this bathroom, and I just was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but try not to profile this guy.
When was this?
That's probably Gabe. It's probably Gabe walking around campus with one of his knives out of his knife collection.
A couple months ago, crackheads, they kind of very jumpy maneuvers, and he all of a sudden bolted to the bathroom, saw behind me to get toilet paper or something to wipe off his knife, and I jumped really bad, and I felt kind of bad afterwards. Wait a second, this guy's sharpening a knife in a public bathroom downtown at 2:30 at night or 1:30 or whatever it was. But it was a while ago.
Hang on, a couple of months ago. Where exactly?
The public restrooms downtown. There's only one set of them. They're just off the playground on what we call Friendship Square.
What time of night?
It was late. It was towards the end of my night. So
weekend?
Probably. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, 1:30, 2:30, something like that.
And you started to say scrawny?
Yeah, he's just a thin build, white guy, tattoos. He had like a white tank top on or something.
How tall?
Shorter than me, so I mean not that tall, but 5'10" maybe. And
Oh, interesting.
just assumed he came from across the street. 109. Excuse me.
What is 109?
That's the address. I don't know.
109.
I'm trying to remember what the street is. It's right there. It's like a low income, like housing development or housing.
Yeah, I've got a laptop here I pull up. It's got a map on it. So let's, here, I'll let you drive.
Okay. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh, Gypsy Java.
They have the projects in Moscow, Idaho.
AW. Okay, Main Street. So right across the street from the old police department, 4th Street. Okay, it is 4th Street. These apartments right here. Oh, this is 107. There's some apartments right here that are like.
Where's the bathroom at you're talking about?
Oh, sorry. So this is Friendship Square right here, and the bathrooms of this little building right here. So I would just pull in, go to the bathroom real quick, and then turn around and leave.
So what is it about 109 that says crackheads?
It's I don't know how to describe it. It's like as I understand it, there was this like mobile home park out of town not a long ways, but a ways called Syringa. It went up because they weren't maintaining it and everything. There's people squatting in it for forever, and they finally kicked out all the squatters. A bunch of them moved into 109. High drug use, high like mental health issues, that sort of.
Okay. So clearly these are not MPD police that are doing this interview because they know their city. So these guys don't know Moscow. So I don't know if this is an FBI interview, Idaho State Police interview, but they don't know the area. So they're like, how do you know? There you go, Kane. Yeah. Yeah. I said, who knew that they had a little like hood area in Moscow, Idaho? True. That's true. That's true.
Kind of like quote unquote undesirable kind of population frequents there, and lives there, I guess. And like I've had passengers that have walked from campus. There's one that walks from campus sometimes to Anytime Fitness, which is clear together in the main street. And she's made a comment of like people start following her when she walks through there and stuff like that. It's a rougher section of town.
How old of a guy?
Not like super old, but
That's a good question.
older than me, probably 30s maybe.
Remember what he was wearing?
I think a white tank top. Cause I think I could see like his shoulders, and then maybe a hat. It was a while ago. Just after that, I was
sharpening the fillet knife on.
he was fiddling with it. It looked like maybe he had like a little sharpening stone or something. I just remember thinking that was what he was doing. But
Was he at the sink?
yeah, he was at the sink.
Can you describe the knife?
Just I don't know, yay long or so, just a typical little thin blade fillet knife.
Like for fish?
Yeah, for fish.
Curved, pointy?
I think it was straight, but it had, the kind of curve in at the hilt where it goes into like the thinner part of the blade. I think I remember seeing that, but he was like holding it like this. I just remember thinking it was a fillet knife.
Between you're
like,
showing it.
Yeah, he was like holding it and then like fiddling with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just glanced at it and it's just like, oh, I should have turned around. And then trying to like kind of watch him out of the corner of my eye, do my thing as quick as I could and get out of there. And then, I haven't gone back to those since because I'm like, that was.
He walked in on that and stayed and still went to the restroom. Would you walk into a restroom, see a guy sharpening a knife at the sink and make yourself that vulnerable in there? Or would you turn around and leave right away? Isn't that weird? Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Nothing ever happens in Squattersville. I know more about that than you guys probably would think.
Do you ever see those kind of folks walking around town, or they pretty much confine themselves to that area?
They pretty much stay downtown. There's one guy he's a pretty big guy. Always in kind of like tan sweatshirt, sweatpants. His ass is always hanging out, long hair, big beard. He kind of moseys around downtown a fair amount. But
Ever see him walking over here?
I don't usually see anyone like that over there. It's usually all college students.
Tan sweatshirt, brown pants.
How are they doing on this phone?
Well, I'll go check again.
Okay.
Oh, they were downloading his phone this whole time. That might be it. Nope. Oh, here we go. They're asking him the same. They're going to end with exactly what he did that night.
When I asked him, how's the night been? Everyone's like, oh, it's mid, or it's so-so. Like, there wasn't anyone who was, oh, tonight was amazing, or anything like that. But
how many rides do you think you gave after you dropped them off back at the house?
After I dropped them off, I think only the two. I had the one guy that I went to after I dropped them off, and then picked him up at John's Alley, and then he lives out on Indian Hills Drive. Dropped him off.
That was off the books.
Yeah. That was in my phone. His name is, I think his name. And then dropped him off at his house.
Oh my gosh. Who just said frogging? Who just said frogging? There's a show about it. Where are you at? I think it was Lisa. Was it Lisa? Let me find it. Where's it at? Where'd you put that at? There it is. On Lifetime. I listened to a true crime podcast a long time ago about frogging and thing to me. PHROGGING, frogging. If you guys don't know what that is, yikes. That scares me. Now my curiosity is going to make me want to go watch this show, Lisa. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I literally, you're going to laugh at me. I locked all my attics, like all my attics that have like just a little like square that like moves over to the side. Like, I locked them down. Like nobody's going to come in through the attic. Nobody's coming in through the I have a lock on my basement door. Nobody's coming up through my basement. That's terrifying. That's terrifying.
Out on Indian Hill, I think it's Indian Hills Drive, and then drove home, and then left the apps on for a little bit. I played some video games or something, and then got that one other ride on Lyft, I think at 306. And then after them, I went home and could get another ride.
Where'd the Lyft ride go to?
The Lyft ride was that one from 119 to Delta Gamma, and it's right on campus. It's on Elm, and can I use this again?
I think I know where the DG house is.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, if you went to school here. Yeah, right there on middle of Greek Row. They reversed the one ways around a little bit, so pulled up between Pi Phi and Pi Kappa Phi, and then just turned right there at their anchor and stopped. And then I'm pretty sure it was two girls and a guy, because I think the two girls walked towards DG, and then he was walking towards Beta, because I was trying to see where everyone went as I was trying to pull away, and they were separating but still talking. He was kind of staying in the middle of the road.
Mention Pi Phi
And then
again.
back home.
Mm-hmm.
What video games were you playing?
I played, I got a new Call of Duty. Pretty sure I was playing that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
So phone's done.
Cool. Okay.
Here's consent form. Let me talk to you a couple of seconds real quick so we can organize something or not organize something. So we're leaving the room here real quick. We're still on video, so.
Okay.
Take your notes.
think that's it. What?
If you're willing to let us look inside of your car. Did you drive your Uber car?
I did.
Okay.
I was going to try and drive this weekend. I was planning to drive last night. So usually the only one.
So what we'd like to do is
Last
we don't want to draw
question
attention to
about
you, and there's media all around here.
Okay.
And if we look inside and take pictures of us doing that, and your car is going to be on the front page of every newspaper around the world tomorrow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we want to avoid that.
Okay.
So
Appreciate it.
what we'd like to do, if you're willing, is we'd like you to drive. Let's see, where are we? We're in here somewhere.
That's Palouse River Drive right there.
Yeah, so we're up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'd like you to come down to Palouse River Drive and drive out here and drive in here. And this is an ITD yard. So
Okay.
just drive down to the ITD yard. We'll hop in an unmarked car.
Okay.
We'll follow you down there. We'll pull your car inside of a bay in a building.
Okay.
And there won't be any press down there. So nobody's going to take pictures of anything. Nobody's going to think anything.
Okay. I'm just
And-
trying to, I had a friend I think that lived in this, so I'm just trying to figure out where I need to turn here.
Well, I think you need to go past this
Yeah.
building and then you turn in here.
Okay. So if I get to the third one,
Yeah, just
Right after the-
pull in here between the two buildings. I'm not sure.
This is kind of weird. What do you guys think? We're ending with this, okay? What do you think? Like, do they really want to like give him like this special protection because there won't be cameras or whatever, or nobody, like, we're going to keep you secret so nobody sees you? Or are they wanting him to drive? They said they're going to follow him. Is there something about him driving? Like, do they want to see something about the car? Are there cameras along the way that he would be driving past? I don't know. There's something weird to that for me.
Where the bay is they have for us. But if you'll pull in there, we'll have somebody come with an alternate light source basically and just kind of look around.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say with that. Like I had my dog in the car last weekend, so I did vacuum the car. Didn't wipe it down or anything, but I did vacuum it.
No, that's totally fine. It's just,
Yeah, no, it's all good.
yeah. Okay. I'm going to, we're going to do that, but we're all done here. So I'm going to terminate this interview at 7:13 p.m.
All right. That was a long one. Oh my goodness. I think this is my longest live yet. But I will usually panic when I get around like I'm not loving my hair today, but whatever. Usually when I get around the 2-hour mark, I'm like, okay, we need to wrap this up. But this was an important interview and I wanted to get all the information out of it. So why do we think he went to Taco Bell? Where'd that come from? He didn't say it. We listened to 2 whole interviews. He didn't say anything about Taco Bell. I don't know what this stinker station is. I know Meg was laughing at me about that, but what is that? I want to say thank you to Rolo for sharing like information and thoughts with me today. It was great chatting with you in the chat. And yeah, I'm going to look up some of that stuff. So I think it was good information. And then the important thing is I can't wait for Lana at Truth and Transparency to clean up that audio from Braden. Is it Jensen? I can't remember his last name. I know it's BJ is the initials. Because he's going to give some information about Eric's rides that night and maybe some other information too. So I can't wait to hear that clearly and see what it is. 2 people talk about cleaning. Interesting. Yeah. Good observation. You heard him claim he went to Taco Bell during these interviews I played today. Did you hear it during these interviews that I played today? They took him to the Sally Port. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. Awesome information and thoughts in the chat, even some funny little comments, which I love. Got to laugh once in a while. It's a convenience store. Why would you have that name, Meg? I thought maybe it's a gas station or something. Why would you call it that? I'm going to go to the stinky store. That's what I would say. I'm going to go to the stinky store. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, go over to Dago's channel. I know he's live. Let's go over there, support him. And I will see you back here to more. I know what the Wawa is. I know what that is. Took me a while, but I heard so many people talk about it. This is the first one for me. Are you serious, Tony Stevenson, or are you responding to something sarcastic? Are you lived out there? Yeah, lots of information in this one. So thanks for analyzing and discussing it with me. I will be back tomorrow at 11:30. So I will see you guys. Oh, wait, you know what? Tomorrow will be determined because I have a partially flooded basement. It's horrible. It's under the flooring. Oh my God, water came up. So I'm having plumbing come to like flush out all our system. And I can't remember what time they told me. What time did they tell me? So tomorrow, just look for me around 11:30. I'll post and let you know what's going on for tomorrow. I should be on sometime, but it just might be like a little bit later maybe than my normal time. Yeah. So go on over to Dago's. Have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you all. Thank you to everybody that gave donations. Please hit the like button if you are listening to this on replay. I greatly appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel so you'll get notified of videos and when I go live. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Actively unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.